Welcome, everybody, to the CrossFire podcast. Sorry we're late. We just got so into an actual Destiny 2 conversation, we forgot we were podcasting tonight. Listen, we got a great show. We got a lot of diehards here. I kind of wanted to change things up a little bit, and this is also, the week of the hurricane, which we are missing our dear brother Crap. I'm hoping he's able to hear the show live from whatever device he's able to get to, because he still has no power where he's at. The word on the street is he may be back this weekend for MNC, but we'll keep you posted. So our prayers, wishes, everything's going out to Crap. He's had a rough week out there with no power. No power for 6 days, guys. Think about that. That's like being Amish, okay? Oh. It's not good. It's not a good time. With no further ado, let me get into this group here. We got a great group. I'm going to start from left to right here. I got my buddy down in Florida who can tell us firsthand what it's like to feel this hurricane. Clowns, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad to be here. Lost 2 shingles on my roof, but it's not a big deal. No leaks, so it's all good, and we got CrossFire tonight.
You sound just like me, buddy. I don't really mind what comes off the roof. Just please don't let the water come in through the roof. So I'm with you, buddy. I agree, and I'm glad to hear you're okay. Next, we have one of our other usual suspects, a guy who's got a ton of hours into Destiny, and we're going to really tap into what he knows and doesn't know. Boom Bostic. Mr. Boom, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight?
What's going on, people? No, I'm glad to be here, Mooch. Thanks a lot. Obviously, prayers and good wishes to everybody in Florida, especially Crap. I know he's been having a tough time. I'm sorry he's not here, but he will be missed.
Yes, he will. No, he definitely will. And now I'm going to get to a couple of our. We have 2 special guests here. One is literally en route. We have our buddy Fonz from RDX. Fonz, first time to the show, buddy. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, bro. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. It's great to be here, finally. Mooch, thanks for the invite, and it's great to be here with this great panel. So let's get started with this talk.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And a guy who needs absolutely no introduction, but I'll give him one anyways because he has 18 aliases. Noof Nukem, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show, and thanks for doing it tonight.
Hey, people, it's No Chills, Noof Nukem in the house. First off, Mooch, thanks for the invite, man. I'm sorry I had to delay it just a little bit. I've been just having like a shitstorm from a PC and how all these updates apparently that hadn't finished updating, and my connection's been a little wonky. So hopefully throughout the show I won't be botting or anything like that. Let's see how it goes. And it's always a good time to be on CrossFire Friday nights. Crap, shout out to you, buddy. Hope you're hanging well, bro. And I'm sure you'll get back on the podcast here as soon as you can. So much love and best wishes go out to you, bro.
I'm with you. I thought for a second there he was going to actually punk us and actually just show up. So with that being said, that's probably not going to happen. Do want to give a shout out to our boy Xbot448. Xbot is at a wedding tonight, so he couldn't make it. And our boy Southie's working tonight, so he wasn't able to make it too. But we do have all day on the way. So he's going to come here and definitely chime in on what we're going to talk about. Guys, first and foremost, let's just get down to it, okay? This isn't going to be just sitting around and being like, what did you collect? This is what I collect. That's what we were kind of talking about before the show. On CrossFire, I think we got to kind of hit a little bit more home, right? There's still a little bit of banter going on Twitter and social media all over the place in the gaming world, gaming community, that there's just certain people who love the game, there's certain people who hate the game, and then there's people who seem to be caught in the middle. They're in no man's land. They don't know if they should buy it. They're literally getting pulled left and right. They're going to have no arms in about a week. Here's the thing, guys. I'm not going to sit here and sell the game because I don't need to sell the game. It's the second one in the generation. Okay, we have Destiny 2. It's not Destiny 1. This is Destiny, more Destiny. I think they polished it. I think they fixed it. But I'm going to put this out to the group. You know what? I'm actually going to put one of our guests in the hot seat. I'm going to put Fonz on the hot seat right in foremost. What is it that makes Destiny 2 so controversial between gamers? What do you think that is? What's the problem here, Fonz? You see what's going on Twitter.
It's really about the grind. Some people just despise grindy games. They don't want to go out there and hunt for loot. They'd rather have it just given to them as they progress through levels or whatnot, like most games. And so I understand some people aren't a fan of it, but for me personally, it's something that I love. I love games like this. It's not just Destiny. For me, I love RPGs. I love the grind. This just has some great shooting mechanics to go along with it. It's got the best shooting mechanics, in my opinion.
Yes.
I love the gunplay of the game. And that's why a lot of people love the game. But, and then I have to say, too, that there is the Xbox side, this whole thing, too. There's a lot of people here on Xbox that seem to despise Destiny Just
Right.
name alone, they just send shivers throughout their spine. They don't like Destiny for some reason. I see. I'm going to be playing on the other side on the PlayStation as well, because that's where I played the first Destiny, and I had tons of friends playing over there all the time. When I came over here, sure, there's people playing it, but there's a lot of people hating on it, more so than they did on the PlayStation. So
Right.
I don't know why that is. I think it might have something to do with Bungie leaving Microsoft and everything. But
yeah, that definitely gets into a little bit of the gaming politics, right? I mean, Bungie leaving, it left a sore spot. I mean, myself personally, look, I don't know. For some reason, guys, let's equate this to the NFL for a second. If you ask your parents or your grandparents, people that were watching the NFL back in the day, people got drafted to a team and they stayed there and they retired with that team, regardless if it was a team that went. Look at Barry Sanders. Okay, he didn't have a ring on his finger. Look at some of the greats in the NBA. Okay, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. Look at Dan Marino. Okay, I mean, you can go on any sport you want. These people were loyal to their team. Something happened years ago where it was more like, you know what? Hey, if I go over there, I can make more money and maybe win a ring. Maybe, right? It's always a maybe. You take a chance. Life's a bunch of risks. But Bungie said, listen, Microsoft's willing to pay us uber amounts of money for Halo. We don't want to do Halo anymore. We want to do something else. Now, that's something else, guys. Okay, everyone always goes, boy, this Destiny looks a lot like Halo. No shit. Have you seen a Stephen King movie and then seen another one? Is one a comedy? No, they're the same thing. Okay, it's going to be in the same world, folks. It is what it is. But I think what it is, Fonz, and you kind of nailed it there, is the reason you're seeing a little bit more hostility on the Xbox side is the Xbox gamers have a little bit of resentment towards Bungie. Myself personally, because I'm a little bit more of a Gears guy than I was a Halo guy. Doesn't mean I hate Halo. I played them all. Multiple times. But because I was more of a Gears guy, when Bungie wanted to bounce, I was like, don't let the door hit you on the way out. They have the IP here, and they got plenty of people that stayed from Bungie. So nothing really ever happened bad to Halo, and we saw that Bungie went off, made Destiny, and made a terrible story. So it wasn't like they took the story and ran with it. It's not like Bungie did anything like that. But they did make a great game, like you said, that's got great shooting mechanics. And I sit here every day, and I try to tell people, listen, don't worry about the 4K enhancements. Don't worry about the HDR. That's coming. Bungie would have egg all over their face if they're the only game to have a AAA title to not put this stuff out when everybody else does. Of course they're going to have that. So don't let that bother you. And now it is a little bit more the resentment of what you talked about. Go ahead, Boom.
Yeah, it's obviously contract related for sure. There's absolutely no doubt about it that Sony went out of their way to make sure that they could literally not even mention the letter X, let alone the Xbox enhancements. Right. It would have been bad for Sony because people would have been like, well, maybe I don't want to get it on the PlayStation now if it's going to look better.
If anybody actually really thought that there would be no Xbox One X enhancements for Destiny, I don't know what to tell you, because there is going to be enhancements on the X.
Absolutely.
There was games coming out for the Pro where developers said they weren't going to make enhancements. Guess what? They got enhancements. Yes. There's some things that it just happens like that in the industry sometimes. And with this marketing deal with Sony, of course they had to say they had to keep quiet on it.
Absolutely.
Well, go ahead, Noof. You got something to chime in on this? What maybe why this division exists?
You're totally right. They really couldn't say too much. Their hands were tied. It's a marketing deal, and you obviously want to drive as many people towards the Destiny game over on the PlayStation platform as opposed to, the Xbox. But here's an interesting thing, and this is pretty cool, and you might have seen me tweet this out earlier today. Microsoft is I don't know. They're pulling off some really cute marketing tactics, because right now, like at EB Games here in Canada, even at Walmart, I noticed that if you buy an Xbox One S, not only does it come with a game, like you can get the Battlefield bundle or the Gears bundle, but you also get a free copy of Destiny 2. And the latest deal at EB Games here, I noticed today, I got the email, was that you buy an Xbox One S, you get the 1 terabyte bundle. Okay, and I'm stating Canadian prices here, folks, so don't freak out on me. $379, you get the 1 terabyte Gears of War white Xbox One S. You get a free copy of Destiny 2 and your choice of a free copy of NHL 18 or NBA 2K18. And here's the other interesting thing. Here in Canada, PlayStation has the marketing bundle deals with hockey and the basketball, because you can buy the PlayStation with those two games packed in. So Microsoft giving them to you free through deals with EB and other retailers. How about that shit?
Well, now,
That's
okay,
smart.
let me get into numbers here again. And if you can do the conversion, I'd much appreciate it because I made a point yesterday on Four Guys with Quarters that I'd like to talk about tonight. How much was that bundle with the 2 free games in Canadian?
That's $379 Canadian. So that's probably going to be about you're probably looking at about $289 US because usually
it's actually $279 here, Noof.
$279. There you go.
I saw the price. Yes,
what was the
$279
deal?
in the States.
Boom! What was the deal that's been taking place this past week? I thought there was an Xbox One S with Destiny. You can pick a game for free in any bundle. It was $199. I thought I saw that.
Well, the deal that I saw was very similar to exactly what Noof was saying, but here in the States, where they were giving a 1 terabyte Xbox One S bundle, whether it be either of the games and Destiny. They didn't throw Destiny; they gave you a choice of different games. But if you look at the ad, Destiny's right on top. You could take Destiny 2 as your free game. That's smart,
right? Right. No, there was a deal I thought for $199 and you got to pick a game as well. It was a short time, didn't last. That was a great deal. Anybody who didn't hop on that was insane.
Yeah, Larry Herb often tweets out some of those deals, the ones that are like really crazy, and they're usually on. I don't know what the hell is that place where you get them, but usually if you follow Larry Herb, he's always quick to point out some of the best deals.
No, he is. He definitely lets everybody know what's going on. There's also cheap deals or cheap ass deals, and then there's that Fat Kid Gamer or whatever that other one is that Crap always puts out there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. That people are just kind of coming in. I'm going to let everybody kind of shuffle in. We started a little late tonight. Everyone that's asking about Crap is still without power in Florida. He's hoping to hear something tomorrow. He's hoping to be available for MNC Mornings, but it's a 50-50 shot. So our best wishes go out to him again. Just letting everybody know who's just chiming in right now. Guys, let's get back to this for a second because, I mean, this is kind of a thing. It's a phenomenon. I love what Destiny has brought to the table in the fact that we're talking about the community here, right? Everybody's like, community, games, gamers, and community. And then a game comes out that really kind of pulls everyone together, and there's some people out there that are still resisting. And here's my thing. If you don't like the game, that's fine. I'm not here to sell you on that. But there's so many people that tell me all the time, Mooch, you really got to be, it's a community. You got to feel it. Get out there. You got to march with us. You got to be there. This is that game. And we've had amazing time. There's such an amazing time of and this thing with the clans that's picking up now. And anyone that's on Twitter that follows me sees that we started the Mooch Maniacs clan. It's been fantastic. We've had a lot of great people. I started it a day ago. We've got over 60 people in there right now, and they're all fighting their asses off. In one day, we're almost done with level 1. That's 100. We got to reach 100,000. We're at over 80,000. We're going to break it tonight. Isn't that something, Fonz?
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the things I really like about Destiny 2, what has come out now is I did a review on this game, by the way, up on my channel today. And what I did there was I told people that I wouldn't recommend this game to everybody, but if you're into games with RPG elements and shooters, you have to be a fan of shooters or you're not going to like Destiny. But you have to like that loot grind. If you're just in it for the story, I even say there, just because I give it a 9 out of 10, this game, that's for me personally. But for other people, if you don't like that grind and you want it just for the story, I'd say rent it. I'd say wait for a sale. I don't recommend it.
It's funny you say that. You know what, Fonz? I deliberately, I know you tweeted it out to me, and I'm definitely gonna broadcast it out there so many people see it. I didn't want to hear your review until I actually got a chance to hang out with you tonight. Right now, actually, I want to hear it right from the horse's mouth. I want to hear what you think. Here's my thing. Now, let me just mention something. You say rent it. I don't know if you really can rent it, play the story alone, and enjoy it the way we are all enjoying it, the way we were talking about it in the pre-show. I don't think you can get that from just playing it alone for, whatever, even if it's 10 hours by yourself. It's not about that.
Yeah, you can't really get the same enjoyment we do. And that's why some guys out there, like I'm going to drop some names like K-Mega, he can get into games like this because he likes to play alone or he plays alone a lot. And for Destiny, you don't want to do that, okay? It's not the type of thing you do that in. You have to play with people.
I gotta say though, with Destiny too, I've been playing a lot by myself, and I haven't had a problem at all.
Well, it's not a problem, but I think the enjoyment is by factor of 100 if you play with friends.
Yes. That's true.
You know,
like I could go out and
playing Destiny by yourself reminds me of going out on epic car ride. You know, sometimes it's great to go by yourself to sit back and enjoy the scenery, but at other times when you've done the same car ride over and over again, if you got somebody interesting sitting next to you, it sure makes those hours pass by a lot quicker. And when you're into the heat of the grind, especially in the late levels, trying to get that light, that XP, all that stuff, it's just nice to have someone who maybe one knows where they're going, knows what they're doing, maybe can give you some hints and advice about what weapons you should be dropping or what you should be ditching, like that sort of stuff, and just having great conversation. I mean, me and Boomstick played for Boom 10 minutes, half an hour ago, and while it was just 10 minutes, it was a fun 10 minutes. We had a chat, we got ready for CrossFire, all that good stuff, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, and that's where it is. You make most of your memories and everything through playing with other people. When you're with the camaraderie you feel in this game is just, it's unlike any other for me. And I have to put that out there and say for me, because this game, I don't want to push it on everybody, because a lot of people aren't going to like it. But those that do, they understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, for sure. You know what? The one thing I want to add to that, Fonz, is with this game, when you're with a fire team and you're with your friends and you're on, and you see one of your friends go down, you get that frantic feeling in your gut that you got to get over to him to revive him, to keep going.
Yep.
And that is second to no other game.
Yeah, that's very true. Especially if you're in something like a Nightfall or Raid. Oh, man, then it's even more important. It's crazy.
Like earlier this week, I jumped into an actual game with Phil Spencer. I shit you not. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I did.
Yeah, you got to tell that story, dude. That's great, man. I saw the tweets.
Well, if you want to know how it all transpired, because I've had this the last couple of days, how the hell does that happen, Noof? And I was like, well, I'm on Destiny. I'm looking through my friends list, trying to figure out, who I'm going to roll this with. And I see Phil, he's just jumped on, and he's just in a fire team. And normally, if you try to jump into Phil's games or Mike Ibarra or Major Nelson, people like that, they generally have all their settings locked out, so random people don't normally just jump in. But he had everything left open. I guess he was just kind of cruising through, and I said, you know what? What's the harm in just jumping by and saying hello, right? Maybe he'll say something to me, maybe he won't. So I just hit the join fire team button, and boop, I went down on Earth. He was number 2. I think he was level 2 at the time. I just got back from vacation, and we were kind of shooting the shit, talking about the game a little bit. He was asking me how I liked it and what some of the things that I thought had improved and everything. And then we just had a little bit of an Xbox conversation just before he had to go. So I just thought it was pretty cool. At least once in my life, I got to play with Phil, and awesome. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, and I put the picture up on Twitter. It's pretty cool.
That's very cool. No, it is cool. And I'll tell you right now, that's something that's really neat. We will kind of get it. I want to get into that a little bit later with the whole, Xbox's brass has got an open door policy where it doesn't really exist anywhere else in the gaming world. Not even the gaming media is really within reach. They don't want anything to do with us gamers, even though they're quote unquote for the gamers. But that's later in the show. I mean, I really think that it comes down to, and it was funny, you said K-Mega, and there's a couple of people, shout out to Xbox Junkie, who's awesome. Me and Junkie go back and forth all day. And you know what? I know Junkie. Junkie is an awesome dude. I don't know him personally, but I mean, I know him as a gamer. I know he'd like this. And, I really respect Junkie because I like how he's kind of putting up this shield saying, you know what? I don't like your policies. And I'm with him on that. I'm actually with him. I don't like what's happened, but I think a lot of people are upset with Bungie and they're upset with Activision. And really, my anger is more at Sony. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. My anger is not at Sony, but if you're going to point the finger, Sony's the one that brought that contract to the table. Nobody at Bungie went up, knocked on Phil's desk, and then knocked on Yoshida's and was like, hey, we got a contract here. We want to keep half the shit off the other platform. You just want to sign it? We're looking for some money. No? Okay, we'll go check the other guys out. They didn't do that. Sony went up to them with a sheet of paper and said, this is what we're going to pay you. This is what we'd like. We'd like our own, whatever it is. I'll say strike, our own mission. We'd like our own gear. And we'd like you to be able to not discuss the competitor's product because they knew it was coming down the line while ours is the main focus. And we're going to pay you a shitload of money. That's who did this. And people are like, well, shame on Bungie and shame on Activision for taking the money. What? I mean, what? Have you ever had somebody walk up to you with a boatload of cash in a bag? Probably not. And somebody was like, here's what I really want. He's here, right? There he is. All day's here. But someone walks up to you with a huge pile of cash and they're like, listen, this is what I want you to do. As long as you don't mind, could you do that for me and not the opposing team? Probably going to happen. Like, and this is legal. You know what I mean? So like, it's not that it's something foreign. So I mean, I don't really blame Sony. That's called business. But what I'm saying is when people are like, screw Bungie, screw Activision, I'm like, wait a minute. They're on the receiving end. They're taking that money. Anybody in business would take that money. And that's why. So I want to correct myself. All I'm saying is that if you want to get upset, if you want to, it's Sony that's doing this. Phil's the one that came out and said that he doesn't want to keep content off of other platforms, which is why Phil isn't signing deals like this. But Sony has no problem taking away content from quote unquote gamers. So that's where you stem. So that's why when people are like, I'm not buying Destiny because they're taking away content. No, they're not. They just signed a deal, and any of us would have signed that deal. But go ahead. Anybody wants to chime in?
That's why, Mooch, I recommend to everybody, and I'll say it to the day I die, as a gamer, buy all the systems.
Yep.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yes, I've always been a multi-console owner, and I've always preferred one over the other. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Go back as young as you want. Okay, I was Coleco over Atari. I was Nintendo over Sega. Okay, I'm Xbox over Sony. That's a me problem apparently, but that's the way it is.
Yeah,
you're just normal, Mooch. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that all day.
What up?
Welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah, everybody has their preferences with these consoles. I did it for this generation. It's been the PS4. It's no secret. I've played a ton of PS4 games. I missed out on a ton of Xbox games this generation, but I'm making up for it now. I've had my Xbox for years, but I just haven't really played it.
Did you have a hard time though, Fonz? Because Fonz, that means you went from 360 to PS4. Am I right or am I wrong?
I went from 360. I had a PS3, but it was
your second console.
It was just, I had the PS3 a few months before the PS4 released. So I didn't have much time with the PS3. Matter of fact, I played games like the remastered Last of Us and stuff. I got to play those games on the PS4 for the first time.
Well, you're lucky because, I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm on record as well saying The Last of Us is one of my favorite games of all time.
It is.
And I have the remaster. It's still it's still wrapped up in the plastic wrap because I beat it a number of times on PS3. But I had the PS3. It was my secondary console. I used it mainly for a Blu-ray player, except for Uncharted and Last of Us.
To answer your question, though, it's not hard to jump from the 360 or to the PS3 or Xbox to PlayStation. Mm-hmm. For me, I seriously just look at it as a gamer. I look at it as a console that just plays all the games I want to play. And that is, I have to have all the consoles to play all these
Agreed. games. Agreed. Mine was more of a mechanical question. It wasn't really the theoretical gamer question. It was more like my personal problem, and it still is today. Okay, because I just went last month, and shame on me. I'm literally like 80% through the Lost Legacy and 80% through Hellblade, and I postponed. Destiny came out, and you guys know the rest is all history. But realistically, here's my problem. I did play 2-3 weeks straight in August of PS4, and listen, that controller's for the birds.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And I mean, Fonz, that was my question: is how do you go from what is the best controller to that thing?
Okay. The 360 controller was the best controller. The Xbox One controller it pales in comparison, in my opinion.
Really?
I think the thumbsticks themselves are too loose on the Xbox One.
Dude, when I grab a 360 controller, I was like,
they're too loose. They're better on the PlayStation, in my opinion. I like I don't like the layout on the PlayStation, mind
right?
The off-centered, thumbsticks,
right?
360 and the Xbox One, but the sticks themselves, I prefer them on the PlayStation. There's things I like about both and things I don't like about both. But
listen, you know what though, Fonz? Let me ask you a question. Fonz, have you ever tried Control Freaks? They're the caps that go over the analog sticks.
Yeah, I have them.
You have them. Okay, so when you put those on the Xbox One control, because I was going to say to you, what they did was they reduced the surface area on the analog stick. Okay, the overall thread on the top. I think that's what your feeling is giving you a little bit more of that loosey feeling, but it's not really looser.
Not really. Matter of fact, you hit it on the head there because I took them off because it felt like that.
Huh.
It felt worse with those sticks. I still have them on my PlayStation, mind you, because they're just stiffer on the PlayStation. They don't give as easily on the PlayStation.
I guess there's just not enough jizz crumb buildup around them yet, is it? Or what?
No, chill. Listen, real quick question though. I mean, so Fonz, what headset do you use on the PS4?
Well, I use the Astro A10s on both.
Okay, now when you're talking in a chat on PS4, are you able to hear your own voice through your mic coming back as, or no, you cannot?
I hear that on Xbox,
not on PS4.
On PS4.
Talking about like mic monitoring?
Mic monitoring. I don't hear it on the PS4 in any game I ever play multiplayer. And let me tell you something. That is literally like if I said to you, Fonz, now we're going to play a multiplayer game, but I put your console and TV in this room, and I put up a huge wall between us, and no headset. We're just going to talk like this. And that is the worst way to play a game. The fact that that's not available is awful. And no one's been able to help me find this in Sony land. Nobody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's different. No. I hear myself echo sometimes on Xbox Live. I don't hear the monitoring part. You know, I wish you could hear yourself, because like my wife will tell me, she's all like, why are you yelling? And I'm like, I'm not. But
well, you are, and it's not your fault. That's not you. That's all of us on PlayStation, because we can't hear ourselves. The mic, you can hear your voice through the mic on Xbox, which makes you control your volume because you can hear yourself. You don't have to get excitable over the speakers and the noise, because you can't hear how loud you're speaking. And this is what I'm saying. The difference going from Xbox to PlayStation wasn't I hate PlayStation, but it was just I've never liked the PSN is terrible. Nobody even wants to put their credit card on it. It's the reason that the PSN cards are always 1 and 2 respectively for like the past like decade. And the controller's awful. I mean, yeah, you may have a point, Fonz, with the control sticks, but the analog sticks being so close together on the PS4, I get carpal tunnel every time I get done playing that thing.
I have to interject, though, because honestly, I've been on the PlayStation 4 since it launched. I've been on Xbox Live for 15 years.
Right.
Xbox Live is the superior place to play online. Yes, I agree. But I have not had any issues this generation on PSN, aside from those times that PSN went down, which was
we'll leave that out. We'll leave that out.
It was a lot in the beginning, I'll tell you that. But like the party chat system and everything, honestly, right now I have to say it's a bit more reliable than Xbox Live's party chat right now.
Well, you know, and that's a catch-22, Fonz, because it is because it's got limitations. Xbox is trying to, you know, there's a line they say don't cross it. Microsoft fucking like catapulted over it.
Well, Microsoft is trying to make a concert in these parties.
Right. And I mean, that's good. That's got pros and cons.
And sometimes it sounds like a concert, and I leave these parties because it's too big, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly.
You're talking about the ones that
I do
Bam
agree.
joins?
I mean, I will say I do agree with you guys there. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I think what is it up to now? 16 people? That's too many people. There's certain times that you may see Mooch has got like a locked party. It's not that I'm being rude at all. It's not. But I can handle 6 and 8. But once you get to 16 and everybody's playing a different game, that's not a conversation anymore. You know what I mean? That's not even a gaming. You can't have any kind of gaming tactics.
Me and all day will be playing a game. And there'll be 8 conversations, different conversations going on with different games. And it's like, what's going on? You know, I can't even hear all day. He can't hear. Let's go.
No, I agree with you. I do agree with you there. And I mean, I'm not going to make defenses for that, but I mean, that's just an interesting sidebar, guys. It's not to pick on Fonz, because I know Fonz made that switch. And even if I wanted to make that switch, there was just a couple of things. I mean, the other thing too, Fonz, is that I just had majority of my friends all kind of stayed. Yes.
Don't get it twisted. I didn't make a switch. I'm a gamer. Number one, I play all the consoles. I don't switch between the two and say, no, now I like PlayStation.
Right.
I don't care about the console itself. I could give 2 shits about a console. I like what goes into those consoles and into my. That's what I like.
Right. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. That there's something to be said for that. And I know that you've never chimed in on any of this, that, or the other thing as far as the console wars and all that stuff. But I mean, it's for me personally what it came down to, and a lot of people misunderstand it. I've always owned all consoles. I've always had all consoles in my house. Even when I went through and told you I had the 2 and I preferred the 1, I still had the 2. And that'll never change, right? PS5 will be in my house. Xbox 2 or whatever they're going to call it will be in my house. That's not the question. The question I usually have is the issue with the media bias, because the fact is that you've only had a bunch of us, and Fonz, you're on RDX, and RDX is I'm just going to say predominantly Xbox.
It is
right, and that's fine. That's it is what things are. What they are, folks. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think that's a good thing, because there's no other vocal noise promoting the Xbox.
Yeah, you can be a gamer and be in the middle and be on an Xbox Central podcast or a PS4 centric podcast. And I do. I'm on 60 Frames with Porter Rock, who is a PlayStation guy.
Right.
So I don't, I don't. You can talk about games, and that's fine. It's just that, you know, I don't understand how people are just so against certain consoles, and they're at the point where they just don't want to buy them. And
Right.
not just that, they promote, they push their agenda on other people, saying, "Do not buy that console because of this, or that." And it's ridiculous. They're just little vessels that play the games that we all love to play, and that's what I look at them. You know, that's what they are to me. That's
Go ahead, all day.
No, you know what the crazy part is? Like back in the day, even being a kid, you know, between ages of 7 and 8,
Yes.
I've always owned all the consoles, even back then.
me too.
Well, that's
You know,
what I'm saying.
it wasn't like I didn't care if it was Sega, Super Nintendo, Game Boy. Like we had it all. Like parents knew. I mean, my parents weren't too much of gamers, but they knew whatever was out, I would want it. If I asked for it, I would get it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there was nobody came to my house and was like, "What's that piece of shit over there?" Like, no one said that. Like we just played the game. That bring your controller, we'll play. But I never cared about owning one console. I mean, I cared about owning everything and being able to play everything at once.
Yeah.
You know, if
Back when I
wanted
was
to
a kid,
chime
my
in with
mother
that-
would be like, "Son, are you playing Nintendo again?" I'd be like, "God damn it, Mom, it's Sega, damn it, Sega."
Go ahead, Boom.
you win as a gamer if you support. I mean, listen, gaming isn't a very expensive hobby. Not everybody can do it, so people sometimes have to choose one system, and that's completely understandable.
Yes.
But we're all of us that are on the panel today, and a lot of the circle that we run in, we're a little older. We have careers. We have jobs, so we like gaming, and we do support all the consoles. And you know what? You win as a gamer, because if a Mario game comes out you want and you have a Switch, you can play it and have just as much fun as you did the day before playing Destiny or Halo or Nathan Drake. It doesn't matter as long as you're having fun with it. And like I said, I mean, if you look a couple of weeks ago, all I did for 2 weeks was tweet about how incredible Lost Legacy was.
Right, but here's guys, before we light all the Unity candles and hold hands, listen, hold on a second. I do want to say something here for a second. The reason that we do what we do, though, and Fonz, don't get me wrong, what you said is correct, and I'm with you there. Morally and gamer-wise, I'm 100% with you, 100%. The only thing that we have to take notice, and the reason that we do these, the reason I do, I can't speak for everybody else. The reason
I'm
my
here
show,
because of it. I'm here.
The reason I do my show is because I couldn't sit here anymore in 2013 and have everybody say, you just said it yourself. Regardless of the console, folks, and regardless of the games, we should be playing them and enjoying that's fine. But when you've got the media out there barking every single day with 8 to 10 million subs on each of these channels, telling everybody that the Xbox has done everything wrong and the PlayStation's done everything right, and that indies are so important, but now indies don't matter, and everything, power used to matter, resolution used to matter. Now it doesn't matter. Listen, this is all horse shit, okay? That's where the kumbaya ends. Yes. And that's where this picks up. And that's the problem I got.
To interject, I mean, Microsoft, it wasn't that not a fact in 2013? That was a bad E3, man.
I don't think it was a bad E3 at all. I think that's up to personal preference. Personally, everything that they told you in 2013 is what we started doing in 2016.
E3. They're E3.
DRM. You have it, and DRM is the first thing that Sony said with the PS4 Pro. Well, they were like, "Where's the 4K Blu-ray drive?" Well, we really feel that you should be buying streaming for more people are going to be streaming 4K kind of content. Well, that's DRM, folks. Okay, it's another way of saying it. That was out of Sony's mouth. They felt that it wasn't necessary to have that in there.
A lot of people confused as well. That 2013 E3 was not where they said all that stuff. It was actually the Xbox One reveal where they
Yes, it was in. Yes, that's correct.
The E3 was actually a pretty damn impressive E3 for.
I thought so.
It was that press conference that everybody saw, and it burned that into their brain. They're like, "Oh, DRM, they're against this, against that," and people just flew off the handle with it. Don Matrick, his whole argument.
Well, he's a jerk. There's no doubt about it, Fonz.
So it just
sports TV, sports.
Exactly. So it was, but people have to understand that wasn't E3.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Here's the way I looked at it, okay? We sit here and we say we're gamers, yet at the same time we argue about phones, we argue about like drones and different things that are going on in the technical world, and we'll sit there and we'll be like, I like this tech, I like that tech. We're not just gamers, people. We're also people that like certain types of foods, we like certain types of cars, we like certain types of tech. Like, I saw the Xbox One and I said, wait a minute, I'm going to be able to play all those games and be able to snap the TV. We as kids used to joke around. Imagine if I could watch TV and game at the same time. They actually rubbed their stomach, walked and chewed gum at the same time. They gave you that. I saw that and I was like, that's neat. Why do I want to trade in my 360 for another box I plug in the wall, only turns on for games, only turns off for games? We've been doing that for an entire generation. I like seeing them think outside the box. When I watched the reveal, 93, I was the only one in the fucking crowd lighting the match and stopping my foot. Like everybody else was like, and you know what's funny was, Fonz, here's the thing, and the same thing for all day. The thing about this, guys, is that it wasn't necessarily that it was a bad reveal back in 2013. Here's what happened. It was revealed. The audience didn't know how to take it because it was so new. The audience is looking left. The audience is looking right. And what do you have? You have like that guy who was Jaquez, whatever his name is there from, oh God, now I'm going to remember, Gladiator. The media just stands at the podium and slowly turns their thumb down. And when they do that, everybody was like, yeah, down with that. We didn't know what to do. See, that's the thing. When you cross a new era in technology and you're making a leap forward, something different out of the norm, people don't know how to respond. People act like lemmings and they wait for some sort of direction. The media came out and bashed everything. There was nothing wrong with snapping TV. What the hell's wrong with that? What do you think? Gamers don't watch television or like the first thing people are like is I got Hulu, Netflix, this, that. That's TV, bro. Yeah. It's TV. So my point is that like whatever you want to call it, well, the fact that was great. How about the fact that we could buy digital games and then share them with all our friends? That was awesome.
It was, you know, it's in our human nature to deny stuff.
Absolutely.
We don't understand. If we don't understand it, we don't like it. That's just how it is. But I can see your point on that, because if you look at it nowadays, okay, guess what, guys? DRM is here. I mean, everybody's going digital now.
That's right.
Guess what's happening? You can't play your games if you don't have that digital connection, right? You can't load those games if you do not have your Xbox connected or your PlayStation connected. More and more people are going digital now. I myself was a staunch advocate of physical media. And I still am when it comes to Blu-rays and stuff, because you get higher bit rates and the movies look a lot better. But anyway, that's beside the point. But with games, I was an advocate for physical media. Now, I'm all digital, baby. And that's one reason. Game share. I game share with my kids now on the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Yes, me too.
Saved me a ton of money.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was funny, you know, and it's funny you say that, Fonz, because it kind of hit me. I recently in the past maybe 12 to 18 months, I decided to go full all on digital gaming. And, so my son's first thing he said was, he was like, oh my God, he's like, I'm hoping, he's kind of beating around the bush. He's like, anyway, I can get Destiny 2, for his Xbox. And I was like, actually, yeah, you're going to get it because I already got it. You know what I mean? Like, you're 100% right there, Fonz. And this is what I'm saying is that Microsoft, the only thing that I think they're guilty of in 2013 was they were guilty of not presenting what they had properly. They did not present the product properly. And the problem with that is the same thing you see at E3. Like, why don't they have somebody, listen, the Academy Awards for movies, the people that vote on the nominations and give the awards out, they're a bunch of stiffs. You never even see these people that vote on them. They put the most Hollywood, funny, crack you up, dramatic actor on stage to make you watch the show. The part where they hand out the trophy and the part of the actual nomination and voting process is a snooze fest. It's a bunch of like 90-year-old people, but in Hollywood forever, eating like fucking just like Grey Poupon and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like it's boring. My point is that what do they do at Xbox when they have a new revealing tech come out? They got Larry and they had Yusuf Mehdi come out. Yusuf Mehdi can't tell a knock-knock joke. What the hell's he doing out there on prime time? So, I mean, this is the problem.
Let's be honest. The real problem with the Xbox, where it all went downhill for them, is honestly what everybody's talking about now, and it's that power narrative.
Yes.
That is what it is, guys. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the media handles the Xbox One X. I know with this whole overheating issue, if you want to get into that, I'm not sure.
We could definitely get into that, because let me tell you something right now. This is not an issue, and I'll tell you why it's not an issue. You guys do remember before this generation started in 2013, there's 3 or 4 clips of the PS4 being showed around the world before they launched, and that red strip came and it overheated. They showed it in 2 demos, and the thing shut off on stage. And
I remember
that.
I remember it well because I remember a certain member of the community making videos on this, saying the PS4 were melting. Okay. And I thought it was
not the recent one where they were melting. Not that this was before it came out.
But I'm saying no, before the PS4 came out.
Okay.
Pro. And so at the time I was like, the sky is not falling. It's not a big issue unless they're out there in the wild and they are in fact overheating.
Absolutely.
So we have to take the same approach here with the Xbox One X, guys. Anybody out there making videos about the Xbox One X is melting now, it's just as lame as doing it for the Pro, in my opinion. I think it shouldn't be done unless they're out in the wild actually melting.
Don't worry about it till it's retail, period.
Absolutely all day. But the thing is, though, though, Fonz, we got to kind of do an asterisk here and add something to it, because that's right. What you said is right. And I agree 100%. The issue I have with it is, and I happened to watch the show, and I didn't watch it after it made news. I watched it when it first came onto YouTube. I was watching it because I subscribed to Kind of Funny. And that Andrea Renee was telling everybody how she was playing. I think it was Assassin's Creed. If it wasn't Assassin's Creed, it was Shadow of War. But I think it was Assassin's Creed. And she said she was playing, and she said, I do have a big, and I enjoyed it. It was beautiful. I think I'm all in on this. And she's been bashing Xbox for the past 2 months, by the way, straight.
Yes,
and
she has.
That's got to be noted. And it's funny because, Fonz, everything you've been saying, and you're like, guys, let's just think about it this way. You're actually right. I actually think that maybe you should have a phone call with Andrea Renee and teach her something, because she's looked at it as a guru.
Did you hear Greg Miller throwing negative comments every time she has something positive to say?
Yep, every time she has something positive, he bams it.
Well, I mean, obviously, Greg Miller is PlayStation fan number one. For Christ's sake, he has
she has been in his back
pocket.
Ah.
Yoshida's done Thanksgiving with him.
Yeah.
So I like the brand to an extent, Xbox. And as much as I like some of the top brass, I'm a fan of Phil Spencer. I'll go on record. I've been going on record as saying that this whole generation. I think since he took over anyway. I think Phil is a good dude. I've actually talked to Phil for a little bit before, and I think that he means well. He's a gamer at the end of the day. So I know that his heart is in the right place. However, I will say though, I think this is a young crew, top brass crew that are kind of not seeing their way perfectly right now, and I think that happens when you have a young crew like that. But I think it's coming together slowly but surely. I think it is coming together, but I still think their messaging and marketing is terrible.
Yes, 100% agree. Absolutely.
Well, you're only as good as the person who ultimately holds the purse strings in this industry. You can have the best intentions all you want, and you might think you know what is best for your brand for that console. But when you sit down around a boardroom, which is normally what happens, you got 12 or 13 people who all think they're just as bright and smart as you are. Their ideas all count for shit. And then someone says, hey, we're only going to give you X amount of dollars to do X number of things. You better figure out what it is you want to do. Like I said, sometimes the best intentions fall by the wayside.
Noof, the problem I got with that is, and nobody knows, I could be wrong with what I'm about to say. Others could be wrong in what they've said. But a lot of people are like, well, you have to realize Phil's working on a certain budget. Wait a minute. He got in the seat in February 14. When he took over, whether it was implemented slightly before or not, it's his baby. He got the green light to authorize a humongous amount of R&D that went into the Xbox One X. Okay. He also went and bought Gears of War's IP. He also went and bought a little game called Minecraft for $2.5 billion with a B. I don't think he's got restrictions. I just think they're trying to do this whole gamers should play games everywhere nonsense. And that's where they're losing touch with reality. Is you have to understand, and this is why when people say, I know that a lot of people have had PC people coming in, and to me, PC is a whole nother world. It's a whole nother conversation. PC gaming has got nothing to do when you're talking about console gaming. It's the way it is, folks. Okay.
So what you're saying is basically if Phil sticks his feet into too many swamps, eventually alligator's going to come up and bite one of those feet off.
Well, that's part of what I'm saying. I think the other part of it is that like you're mixing your messages. Your lines are getting crossed. The console generation, okay, again for this next year, and they said consoles were dead. People have bought. We're going to be over 100 million consoles sold again, and now we're actually rebuying the same consoles we have with slightly better specs. I mean, come on, people. We're doubling down.
I have to disagree just a bit with the whole budgeting thing. I do think that they're working with a more constrained budget than they have in the past.
Well, but Fonz, you have to be honest. You may be 100% right at the end of this, but constrained in what? Like they had 20 billion, now they have 18 billion. I mean, we don't know the number, so it might be constrained, but I don't think it's because now there's the Taco Bell deal, the Dorito deal, the Mountain Dew deal. So what we thought they were constrained is now all coming out. That means they just didn't do it before, Fonz.
Honestly, though, Mooch, I'd rather have a Destiny deal or a Battlefield deal over a Taco Bell deal. Any day of the week. I think that would be better promotion for them. That would sell more consoles for them. And unfortunately,
I think you're right ultimately there, but I don't think that these are necessarily bad ways of branding. But no, I hear you.
But yeah, I mean, any branding is good branding for the most part anyway.
Right.
But when it comes to the games and stuff, that is your bread and butter. This is what people buy your consoles for, is to play the games. So that's what they should be going after. The whole going away from third-party marketing, I know some of you that say, well, it's bad for gamers to do that. And it's just not, it's not healthy for the community, because if you only have one console, you're not going to be able to play this extra content or whatever. I say screw that, because it's business at the end of the day.
That's right.
You have to go after it. You have to do things like that to stay relevant. And right now, it seems like Xbox is a step behind it. Of course, there's several steps behind Sony. And guys, Nintendo is doing phenomenally.
Yeah, and you know what? I just want to add on to that. See, this is something that both Mooch and I have discussed privately and on the air, and that we 100% agree on. We believe, and I'm speaking for you, Mooch, as well, that come next year, Phil Spencer is going to be a little he's going to go a different way.
The 180's already begun, Boom. Yeah. Okay. I just said that. It went, between the Doritos, the Mountain Dew, and the Taco Bell. These are things we haven't seen in 3, 4, 5 years. Okay. Even going back into the end of the 360 era, they didn't do it anymore. Now you're seeing that where they said they weren't going to do it. And Fonz, I mean, I don't know how much you've listened to Crossfire, but what Boom's talking about that we've stated publicly is that Phil's whole Kumbaya candle, and I don't want to take content off other boxes. We think that he's finally going to, I'm making a prediction that he'll finally come to an end, and he's going to go ahead and start locking down the deals that you were just talking about. He has to, because you can't have the most powerful box and not be able to show it. You can't just keep screaming from across the street, but it looks better over here. Like that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like if all the advertising is at your lemonade stand and I'm across the street just yelling, but mine tastes better, but you've got like fucking fireworks and fucking signs and trailers up. I can't compete with you just screaming into a bullhorn that mine tastes better. Like the whole thing is that you eventually got to fucking put the money out.
And they're sitting on the gold mine right now. They're sitting on the gold mine right now. PUBG, man. Everybody in the community can see it. I've heard this from day one. I heard it now. You look at the numbers on PC, and even if they only translate so much on Xbox, it's still going to be a massive title for the platform. They got to lock it down.
PUBG Noof is a great stepping stone, so I'm going to agree with you on that one. But here's the thing. PUBG is the very beginning step, and let me tell you why. It's got the numbers, it's got the appeal, and it's got the casual player involved, which is all A+. It's all A+. And I think they can get it pretty cheap, okay? I don't care how well it's doing. It's still an indie developer. They can still get it a lot cheaper than they got fucking Minecraft for, okay? Or that what Destiny cost Sony. But what they got to do is they have the marketing deal with Anthem. Okay, we know that. We know Anthem has the capability of being the next Destiny. We'll say that. Okay, we'll say that, and we'll be careful. You got to walk on eggshells when you say stuff like that. But it has the possibility of being the next Destiny. But at the same time, now I'm going to sound like Fonz. I want to see an exclusive strike. I want exclusive gear.
I want an exclusive scarf. Yes.
Exactly. I want something coming to Sony and Anthem 3 years after I've thrown the game out. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that you have to step up and start ponying up to buy. The fact that you have marketing rights, okay, and like you just are able to put the thing on a commercial, that's not enough these days.
No, not in 2017. And you know what? I don't want people that are listening to think that we're petty. Oh, PlayStation got it. Oh, boo.
Oh, I am.
My thumb. You know what? Well, I don't want it to come off as we're petty, but the truth is the truth. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you to say, and I've said this on Twitter numerous times, I still feel a type of way that someone who bought it for the PlayStation 4, who spent the same $60, is getting the extra stuff that I'm not getting because of a signed paper. Microsoft needs to do more deals like that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what, Boom? I gotta agree with you. I think part of the problem is that Phil and the team haven't been really aggressive enough. I think they did all that kumbaya stuff. Let's all be friends. Everybody gets along. Let's all crossplay instead of trying to lock stuff down to say, hey, Xbox One X is the best.
Right.
And here's why we got this.
And that's it, clowns. And that's clowns. Thanks for actually bringing it back full circle, because that's where we started. And that's, Fonz, I lost track. I got off on a rant. But that's what I was actually trying to say, was I think that they just lost touch with the Let's Play Anywhere. They focused on that, thinking that you would want to buy one game, which, don't get me wrong, from a consumer standpoint, right, guys? Clowns, great point. From a consumer standpoint, you take that money, you go out spend $60. Now, all of a sudden, I can play that on my Xbox One. I can play it on my S. I can play it on my X when it gets enhanced. I can play it on my PC. I can play it on my laptop or my Windows tablet when I'm on the road, right? That all sounds really, really great in a boardroom. Not when you're really doing this in real life. It doesn't really come to fruition. People just don't do that. Like, on my way to work, I'm thinking about all the shit I have to do at work. I'm not like, oh my God, when I get to work, I hope nobody actually turns around and sees me playing this raid at Destiny. No, it's not going to happen. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe, and that's why I always bust balls and, earmuffs all day. Maybe over in California and the West Coast, people can play video games at work. We can't do that over here.
Oh my God, here you go.
Here it is, right? He's like, damn it.
I don't like lattes. Fuck.
Love it.
Hey, California. I'm in California, and I will take a latte if anybody wants to.
I knew it. I knew there was somebody out there. No, you know what, though, guys? Getting back to the media thing, though, the Andrea Renee thing. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the reason that I do what I do on the air, is because here I am. I'm enjoying the kind of funny thing, and I realize that I'm on a Sony channel. He's a Sony guy. He doesn't hide it. And that's fine. I think he's a comical person. I think he puts on a decent show. I'm watching it. And then all of a sudden and she's like, well, I just want to let everybody know there was a problem with the X. No, there was a problem with your X. Okay. And it was twice. And 1 million people played it in those 2 days. So let's calm down. Not to mention, it's a prototype. It's still a demo. You know what I mean?
It's still a dev kit. Yes, that is correct. Yeah,
it's still a dev kit. So this is the nonsense that you see. But when that overheating thing happened, nobody was like, well, Greg, I want to take a minute here. Greg, I was playing Uncharted 4 on the demo, and PS4 crashed on me. It really let me down. Nobody said that. That's not on any episode of Kind of Funny or IGN's Beyond. Nowhere is it said. And when somebody did even mention it, it's like, oh, stop it. It was just,
it was just a hiccup.
About it. It's a hiccup.
No big deal.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we'll say that it's a hiccup here.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There is always you don't think Microsoft, they even took time at the E3 conference to let people know about the new cooling system they put in there, because they want people to know, just because we put more power in the box doesn't mean we can't get the heat out of the box. You know what I mean? They don't want the memory again.
I just want to add something to that, Mooch, just to reiterate the fact that, yes, there is a massive media bias, especially on Kind of Funny. How many Xbox One X systems have been everywhere? And this is the first time we hear of it, because I got news for you. If this system would have overheated at E3 or Gamescom or something like that, it would have been front page news from everybody. Oh my God, it's burning, it's melting. Right. So this was obviously just a hiccup. And she obviously really went in on it just to get more clicks.
I think. Well, so.
you got to. Obviously, she was the only person with that issue, so that's why I'm happy it's not out there getting blown out of proportion.
It's not. I will say that much. It hasn't been. They didn't take the ball and run with it all day, which I'm shocked, right? Because you really a year ago, holy shit, that would have made the New York Times. Right. So we'll change subject here, guys. I think we all know where we kind of stand on that. Kind of want to get a little bit more into games. Let's talk about this for a second. October 27th, folks, is a big day. Okay, for everybody. I don't care what system you're on. It's a big day. A lot of games coming out. I brought this up on other shows that I've been on, and I want to kind of present it to the cast here, guys. Are you good? There's no way. Okay, and you can do this. I'm sure monetarily you can all handle this, so it's not a monetary question. I'm just talking about time. With all these games coming out on October 27th, I'm just going to state what I said, and then I want to hear what you guys did. There's Wolfenstein, there's Wolfenstein 2, there's Wolfenstein 2, there's I believe Assassin's Creed Origins, Mario Odyssey, and there might even be another game that I'm forgetting. There's all these games coming out. I said, hey, listen, since I'm getting the Xbox One X, I want to play Origins and I want to play Wolfenstein 2 on Xbox One X. I'm going to go ahead and just pick up Mario on the 27th, enjoy the shit out of that for a week and change, and then get into the AAA stuff, the third-party stuff on the X. Do you guys see my point in doing that, or are you guys just going to go hog wild and buy them all?
Thank God for Destiny, because that will keep you frugal. I swear to God. Like, you don't have, I mean, when you're playing this game, it takes a lot of time. You put a lot of effort into the game if you're hardcore about it.
Right.
So it kind of stretches out the time between each release that you might want to get. I mean, all in one day, you could just, like you said, pick up Mario, but you'll still be going hard in Destiny. So it'd be cool to take a break to go to play one game. You're not going to play them all.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up, though, all day. But my question to you back is, okay, fine. I'm totally on board with what you said, but are we getting new content from Bungie by then, or is that? I thought that was coming later in the like Christmas.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know.
If you don't get to 350 by then, and for me myself anyway, if I'm not 350 and it's October 27th,
right,
right,
I'm not buying.
Well, the thing about Destiny, like Fonz, everybody here, honestly, bro. When we're all end game in Destiny, you do your daily, you do your weekly, you do your nightfall, and guess what? Destiny's gone. I'm off.
That's right.
I'm off.
That's right.
So it's you play, you get your shit done, and you go hop on another game. So that's the beauty of it too.
That's the thing. So I mean, even though all day you made a good point, I would say if there's not any new content, and it's like Fawn's saying, it's only a 350 max out. I would say by October 27th, anybody that's been playing as much as all of us have been playing the past 2 weeks would be at max out. We would just be doing our daily. So I mean, all right, let me start with you then. All day. Where are you, what are you buying on the 27th? Nothing is also an answer.
What?
I mean, you know what I mean? You don't have to buy anything either.
I already bought Assassin's Creed. I already got Wolfenstein. I'm on the fence about. I can wait for that one. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna be good, but I can wait. So honestly, I might get Mario first.
Yeah, Mario same thing here. What about you, Noof?
Yeah, I got Mario pre-ordered, man, and I got hats off to the Switch too with their latest what do you call them? What do you call those things that they do? Direct, because some third-party support coming by the way of LA Noire. I know some of these games are remakes and stuff, but just to see any type of third-party support, especially with mature content like we're getting LA Noire, Doom. We've got the new Wolfenstein game coming out next year as well, and what's the other, like Skyrim and stuff. Like, it is nice to see that for the Switch, and hats off to Nintendo. I just hope it keeps going, because when I picked up the Switch, it was nice to get the first party stuff, but I was hoping as well that we would see that support coming, and hopefully people will buy some of those games on Switch just to show Nintendo that, hey, these games can sell on their platform. We don't need to always just have an Xbox One or PlayStation to play some of those games, and graphically holding up pretty well too. So that's awesome. But yeah, I'm getting Super Mario Odyssey. It looks
you got to be glad, Noof. You got to be glad you kept your Switch.
Yeah, totally. After I saw that, I was like, "Damn, yeah." I was glad I didn't get rid of it.
Getting rid of that. I was like, "Don't get rid of that, dude. Don't get rid of that." What about you, Fonz? What are you doing on the 27th? Did we lose Fonz? We might have lost
bye.
Him. See you, Fonz.
Yeah, I wrote in there. I said I'd be right back.
I'm sorry, I didn't see. I've got like 3 things. I apologize. I hate being the goddamn podcast leader because I never keep up with that. What are you doing on the 27th then, Fonz? Are you back?
27th, I will be playing Destiny.
You're not going to get any of the new games? They don't.
No, I will be getting them, but I'm waiting for November 7th to play them.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So I mean, but are you a Switch owner?
No, I'm not too into Mario and stuff anymore. Just I don't know.
What about the kids? The kids don't dig it?
No, my son is all about Xbox, unfortunately.
I mean, same here, but I try to force Nintendo on them. I'm like, you guys need to play what I played.
Never forget.
Never forget this.
They don't really care for those type of games anymore.
I know.
Kids, but it's all about the Call of Duties and the battlefields. You know?
It is. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, Destiny's kind of taken over this house. Not that anybody in the chat's shocked.
And by the way, that is why I got it on Xbox first this time, is because my son only has an Xbox and we're game sharing, and he really wanted to play Destiny this time. So I've been playing with him, got him over 200 power level. He's doing awesome.
Dude, I'd like to say that your son is a genius, first and foremost, Fonz. I'm glad he brought you back over to Team Good Guys. That being said, what about you, Clowns? What are you buying on October 27th?
Everything that Assassin doesn't buy. So, whatever comes out, I'll be buying it, Mooch. Doesn't matter
All right,
what
so
it is.
You guys are going all hog wild. Boom. What about you? Are you
Everything.
Boom's
Yep.
buying it. Let me answer for Crap. Crap's also buying
Everything. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, listen, the thing about it is this. I typically don't run out and do pre-orders unless the pre-order incentive is through the roof.
Right.
Or if it's just something that I know. Like, the thing about it is I'm gonna wait. Wolfenstein 2 and definitely Assassin's Creed. I'm just gonna wait and buy on the 7th. I don't care about the if there is even a pre-order. I don't care. I don't want the statue or the sticker or whatever that comes with it. Mario, listen, here's the thing about Mario. I said it last night on Four Guys. I'll say it again. It's nostalgia is a hell of a drug, folks. Okay. I don't really care much for the Zelda games and the Metroids, but that Mario, man. And now the fact that if this is just another Mario world where you're jumping on it, it's playing on a 2D and you're just jumping around like they kind of did with the first launch that was on the Wii U. Maybe you could talk me into saying, but the fact that they're taking Mario and doing something crazy like they did back when they did it with Galaxy, they're changing it up a little bit. That kind of interests me. I like to see where they're going to go with this. So yeah, I mean, listen, am I going to play it for 75 hours? No, but it's definitely something I can jam out with and kind of enjoy while I wait for the X to come out, because I don't want to ruin, I don't want to ruin the good times and the look of Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein on the Xbox One S when I know the X is coming out. We all have our 4K TVs primed and ready, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about those two games. Those are the two games I'm looking forward to most myself. I really like Wolfenstein this generation, the games that have come out, the old.
Amazing.
Great games. So those have been fantastic. I can't wait for the next one. But the Assassin's Creed, I have to say, Black Flag, I just despised it. I did not.
Really? Interesting. I don't like Assassin's Creed at all. This will be the first Assassin's Creed I've ever bought.
The reason why I didn't like that game is because it was mostly sea-based. You were on a ship, and I hated the ship, man. I hated everything to do with it. Why do I want to go out there and kill whales? I don't want to go out there and kill whales.
Preach.
I want to play a game. I don't want to go out there and make some sort of whale blubber, whatever. I just want to play the game.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know if it's just me, or do I feel like every time Assassin's Creed comes out later each year that it comes out, you feel less of an assassin?
Yeah,
that too.
But this one, there's something about this one that you hit it right there all day. It doesn't feel as much of Assassin's Creed as the other games. Assassin's Creed. I made up a new word.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but it doesn't give me the feel of that game. Looking at it, watching the gameplay, it looks more like a Far Cry type game to me.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up. There's people that were saying in the media that Far Cry 5 looks like just another Far Cry. I'm actually okay with that. Me too.
Far Cry game.
Yeah, I like Far Cry, to be honest with you. I played the shit out of 3. But nonetheless, I agree with you guys on Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed's never been my forte. For me, it's always just been a little too slow. I don't like I never liked Dishonored. I don't like the stealthy, slow, and it's funny. I really love Prey. I don't know if you guys remember Prey this year that came out. I put a lot of time into Prey.
That was a good game.
I'm near the end of Prey, and I just stopped because Arkane Studios, their true colors started showing as we got farther and farther into it. I was like, oh my God. Like I just something with that studio I just can't get into. But same thing with Assassin's Creed. It was like, okay, now walk very slow through the town. We've put a lot of people here. And when you get to that bench, take a seat. What? Take a seat? It took me an hour to walk through town.
Oh, yeah, and don't get caught, Mooch, because if you get caught taking a
Start
seat,
from the beginning.
you got to do it all over again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going out there and trying it, and I'm trying it with an open mind because I've just never enjoyed Assassin's Creed. But I think that these people, I watched a lot of the behind the scenes, a lot of time, money, and effort went into this one.
Great, man.
It does, and it's going to be a fucking showcase. This is the big deal about the X. When the Pro came out, the PS4 Pro, I have a PS4 Pro. There's nothing different between the Pro and the vanilla. I understand some games are able to run at the 60 frame for a lower resolution. Great, thank you. But my point is that I feel like when I come home and turn the X on, I feel like when I turn that X on and I put in Assassin's Creed or Forza 7, I'm going to be blown back and be like, holy shit.
And Mooch, apparently this winter you'll be warm.
Why is that? Oh, it's going. It's right. It overheats. That's right. Well, you know what I'll do? We'll keep all of our family's hot chocolates on top of it. But yeah, we'll make it. We'll double down. I don't know. That's myself personally. Now, let me ask you this, Fonz. You said, and everyone in the chat that's got kids, pay attention to this. Anybody see the PS4 Call of Duty World War II custom?
No, somebody said it was ugly. I haven't seen it yet.
Who the hell? All day. Somebody send all day. Please in the chat. Somebody send all day.
Oh my God!
A picture of that. Who the hell wants that in their family room?
I'm going to say something that's going to offend some people here, but I think it's just as ugly as the Minecraft bundle for Xbox.
Well, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, hold on. That's fair. That's fair, Fonz. But you got to remember something. That is Minecraft. If you're a Minecraft, people that are going to buy that Minecraft. No, but hear me out. The people that are going to buy Minecraft, the console you're talking about, they have an entire room in their house that when you open the door, it's Minecraft. Like they have a room they built. They're like, what do you think of my room? I'm like, I think you're crazy. So but nonetheless.
So this is going to sell really well to a Texan or something, that has camo everywhere. So they're going to be fine with it. So, I mean.
I could handle the green. I just didn't like the camo on the top. Like just a military green. Actually, I like what Colt put together there with the little hinges on the side.
Colt
that actually looked kind of cool.
That looked good. And it was that rustic. It was almost like that Kark paint. That they use on tanks. Listen, that was a shout out to Colt. Great design on his part. That's what they should have done. That's simple. It looks good on people's. The thing is, though, Fonz, you say that, but you're not going to walk into a lot of people's homes and see that Minecraft bundle that's half piggy, half creeper or reaper, whatever they call that thing, underneath people's entertainment centers. You're not going to see that, but you are going to walk into somebody's house soon, and you're going to see that camouflage thing in the middle of their living room, and that thing looks ridiculous.
How dare you make fun of Cletus's PS4? How dare you?
Well, faithfully diddly, stop hitting on my PlayStation 4. That's the kind of PlayStation 4 I've been dying for the last couple of years. I mean, that thing is going to fit right in alongside my fat-ass wife and my case of moonshine on the side. It's going to look really, really good. Yeah, indeed.
Fonz just broke a record, was the only podcaster to call Cletus into the conversation. That's what Cletus usually just makes his way in. No, that's great. Would anybody listen? Let's forget all of this stuff. Okay, let's forget about my opinion. Would anybody on this panel buy that for their homes? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
That's a hell no.
Yeah, that's a hell no.
That's a hell no. Yeah, I feel bad. Thumbs in the chat. Listen, it's not that I don't know what I'm full of shit of. I'm telling you, I don't want camo in the living room. I don't think that's full of shit. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Myself personally, I just think that Sony got so much credit for so many great consoles that they put out that were custom, that this one here is just showing that, I don't know, something's missing. Maybe they let somebody go that we don't know about. They've just been a couple of strikeouts on the past couple of, even the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 console that was custom was kind of mimicked. But now that one looks like the Mona Lisa compared to this.
Is it a green camo one?
Yes.
What did you just slap a sticker on top? Like, there it is. Like, what the?
It does. It looks like, I thought if you put it up on its side, it looks like a 1980s Trapper Keeper. Listen, it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is.
It's like a 1985 style MASH meets Airwolf fucking camo. Like, what the fuck is this?
It really is a flash from the 80s, man. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I don't know. And like I said, you have to keep in mind, like I said, and I do agree, Fonz, I would never in my life have the Minecraft one in my living room either. I don't need something that looks like Neapolitan ice cream underneath my television.
You know what the problem?
Yeah.
You know what the issue I see with this console right off the bat? This is for Call of Duty, right?
Yes.
Okay. In World War II, they did not wear uniforms with camo like that.
Nope.
That's correct.
Nope.
So why is this camo even on?
It doesn't protect.
It looks like it came out of the A-team or something. You know what I mean?
That camo, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'll stand corrected, but then that was the Vietnam era.
Yeah, I think so. They just wore like these olive green uniforms. They did not have camo like that. So to represent World War II, they're doing it a disservice. And actually, it's a slap in the face to World War II veterans. They should be up about this.
That's kind of true. I know everyone else gets upset. Why wouldn't they? You know, the thing is though, people who are still survivors of World War II and all that, they have too much pride and everything to complain about a sticker.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just hope that the Wolfenstein edition doesn't come up with the swastika on top. Those guys are starting to lose their
Well, you know, Wolfenstein has gone into so many different things. They've gotten into a lot of trouble as far as like PR and everything else, but they're still holding true. So, I mean.
Honestly, they could have just left the console like that olive green.
Yeah,
Well, Battlefield 1's console is, I think, what you guys are describing. Remember the Battlefield 1 custom console, that one there? Or it wasn't really custom, but I mean, it was that olive green. Again, looks like car paint off of an Abrams vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't even want it that color, but it would be miles better than what they got now. I mean,
absolutely.
Designing this is like 1,000 yards of stupid. I mean, it's not representing World War II whatsoever. It's
the sad part is they probably don't even care because they know Call of Duty is going to sell.
Right?
Yeah, that's all that matters to them.
They brought it to the fucking meeting. Like, hey, I got coffee. Like, what you think about the design? That looks sick. I was like, what?
Where's my latte?
Where's my fucking latte, man?
Where's my latte?
Jesus Christ, man.
I really think he meant it looks sick all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I will be shocked. I think somebody completely dropped the ball on that one. And Fonz, actually, you know what? That's bravo to you for calling that out. I really didn't think about that. That is not the camo at all associated with the war. So at the very least, they could have at least got that part right. Even if you said, well, you know what? This actually doesn't look good, but it did fit the era. Well, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can dislike history all you like, but history still occurred.
You could have went a step further and really stirred the pot and put like those like a lipstick stain on there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, who knows?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
It's a huge fail.
Well, speaking of that, speaking of fail, let's go to the next step here. You've got Fortnite that's coming out and trying to imitate PUBG, guys. What do you think about this? I mean, I've played Fortnite. I think Fortnite's fun, but I think Fortnite should stay Fortnite and don't let Fortnite become PUBG. What do you guys think about this?
It's already deleted.
I think Fortnite.
Wow, that was
already gone.
Here's what I thought of Fortnite. I had a couple of friends, one in here, saying, "Oh, get it! It's awesome.
Fuck you.
Great." I buy
straight up.
I'm playing a tutorial, and Dealer's on with me in the chat, and he says, I'm asking him questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? And he's telling me, and he goes, "Well, get on Mixer, and I'll show you what to do." So I get on Mixer, and he's showing me what to do, and I'm not having any fun at all in this game. And I'm like, this game sucks. I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it wasn't a game for me. And these guys talked me into it.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing the tutorial, I decide I'm done. I turn it off. I go to my computer and I get a refund for it right away.
Wow.
It called every name in the book from Dealer, just calling me a fraud and everything else because I got rid of the game. And guess what? Now he don't like the game either. So, one thing that really turned me off about the game, honestly, is when I downloaded it, I saw that big old beta in the corner. And I was like, just for a beta? Like, what am I doing here? If I would have known that was a beta, I would not have purchased it in the first place. I think that was the wrong thing to do for those guys, is put out a beta and sell it to us.
And they sold it like it was an actual retail release.
Yes. Yeah. They were sneaky about it, and it was bullshit.
It's funny. I have a similar story, but the beginning of it ends a little bit different. The beginning of my story, I actually enjoy. I did have fun the first night I played it. I mean, it was just good spirits. I was playing with Mel and Xbot and Saji, and we were just going around. We were having a good time, laughing, kind of having a couple of drinks. Everyone was kind of just, we were shooting the shit too. We were like shooting the breeze because it doesn't take a whole lot of brain power to play that game. It's just like, we were just having fun. But then I went back to it and I was like, and my son was like, hey, what do you do here? And I'm like, I'm telling him, and I'm like, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it's, he's like, so what else do you do? And I'm like, that's it. You do that a lot. And he's like, oh, so there's like 3 materials when you break a car down, you get 3 materials down. You break a tree down, you get 3 materials. And it's just like, it really didn't result in a lot. And I was like, well, what is there more coming to this? And the fact that they went and they did this with PUBG now kind of tells me, wait a minute. Did you even have anything else coming down the pipe if you're just going to turn around and do what PUBG is doing? Because they didn't come up with this idea in the boardroom when the game was first developed. So I just feel like this game's already on its last leg. And like you said, a lot of people paid $40 for this game. And it's going to be free. Well, it'll be free next year.
They're reaching is what they're doing. They're trying to find a niche here to get people involved in the game again, because a lot of people did buy it initially, but a lot of people were turned off by that beta, you know. And I think a lot of people on Xbox did get refunds for it, and some were just out of luck and deleted it all day. Yeah.
That's great. No,
it is what it is, but you can tell that's what they're doing. They're trying to go after a niche, you know, this new freaking PUBG phenomenon. Let's go after that. Guess what? It's not going to be as good at all because your game sucks.
I mean, was it that hard to like even extend the game a little bit by putting you in different areas, different types of enemies? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that hard. Like me just fighting the same old fucking little enemies, the same building the same. Like it's too samey, like too fast though. You know what I mean? Like I can see that. I feel like this game will grow with the events and have different, you know, things in the future, but it should be.
Well, here's the thing, right, guys? And we can tie this. Let's tie this back into Destiny here for a second, because all these games are all gonna they acquire and they demand a lot of time. And I think we're all getting to a point here where, you know, I mean, yes, there's definitely kids that play games, but there's a lot of adults that play games, and we don't have the time to play Destiny and Fortnite and The Division, you know what I mean, and Ghost Recon. Like, you've got to pick your poison and stick with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just where it's at right now. And unfortunately, Destiny, you know, people say to me all the time, they're like, what do you think is the greatest game of this generation? And listen, this isn't about like exclusives. Yeah, right? But I think Destiny wins because it's so... it's the only game that's different.
It's the only game for me personally. I can only speak on it for me, but I think for me, it's given me the best experiences this generation for me. It's been, listen, multiplayer, check. Hanging out with your own friends, check. Hanging out with friends that you've met through the game, check. The game is always alive and running, check. And I mean, all day. Let me let you speak all day. You were saying it last night.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had this much fun playing a co-op game ever.
No,
ever. I mean, even with people sitting next to me, I can punch in the face if they beat me. You know, I've never had this much fun. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I met a lot of people doing raids, strikes. I mean, like I was telling Fonz the other day. I mean, me and Brutal, shout out to Brutal, we needed one more person for the Nightfall, and I just tried that Xbox looking for group thing, right? I put up one message. I got 50 messages into my inbox within 30 seconds.
That's
like
wild.
It's a big social thing that's going on, and you feel attached to your character. The game's perpetual. It's always changing. And then when it doesn't change, you can do other things. You know what I mean? It just feels a void that it's a pretty cool void that hasn't been filled before for me.
That's the thing all day, right? It's changing all the time. And like you said, when you said it's not changing, that's like a week. Yeah. Like Zur shows up on Fridays. I know that's old. That's just a store. But like he shows up on Fridays. It changes for every season. We were talking about this last night, right? It changes Valentine's Day, Halloween, Christmas. It's everything changes all the time as far as themes and holiday events and this and that.
And they ripped that straight from World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? They ripped that from,
right out of WoW.
Right out of WoW. And it works. But see, what draws me to the game, my main thing is just the RPG element and the first person element. That's it. For me, that's what it does for me.
Well, you know what? For me personally, besides that, because those are great points all day, and those are 2 points that make you come back. But what's great about Destiny, and this doesn't get spoken about enough, and actually Noof mentioned it earlier. We were on together. We played 10 minutes. We had a blast. Destiny 2 is a game that if you're in for 10 minutes, you're having fun. If you're in there for 2 hours, you're having fun.
Mm-hmm. But here's the problem with that, Boom. You cannot be in there for just 10 minutes.
No, I know.
It's
difficult. We literally had to pry ourselves away to come.
The only thing you can do for 10 minutes though is run in, grab something from Zur, and shut it down. That's the only thing you can do for 10 minutes.
We actually did.
No, the patrols are pretty quick.
Yeah, we did 2 patrols to be fair.
Okay, I'm just saying you just can't put it down though.
No. I mean, I'm already 86 hours deep into it, and I did 1,100 hours in the first Destiny, and I can see doing the same here.
We've been starting every night at about 9:30, and literally, no joke, Bam, every single night since the game launched, he has said, holy shit, is it already 2 a.m. already? I shit you not, that is something he said, and I'm like, god damn, it is. We've been playing for 5 hours. And like, that's how this game engrosses you. It just brings you in. It's action-packed. The few minutes now, this game is different too. For all you guys that are listening in the chat, that's not. Yeah, so shout out to Saji about Mooch just lost sleep.
Hey,
right now I'm delirious.
I'm gonna add this in real quick. Luca was playing with her last night. She had about 30 minutes before we were before she got off, and we were playing. And I was like, she's like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing, but what's all this shit going on? I mean, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing, but this is so much fun. I was like, what are you doing? It was a public event going on, and shit just blowing up, boom, boom, all these colors and powers, and she's like, I don't know what's going on, but it's cool.
Exactly. The public event comes, and everyone's trying to make it heroic. They're like, the ship's here, the ship's here. All of a sudden, whenever you're fighting, you stop, you run over, you try to blast that thing. You're like, get my back, if someone's killing me. And it's like, this is all happening. We barely go to the tower. For people that don't know, and you're like, well, I played Destiny 1 and it sucked. It was slow paced. That's all over with, folks. Yeah. You don't have to go to the tower. We go to the tower in the beginning just while we're waiting for all of us to get there. And then we go there at the very end before we shut it down.
Yeah.
Mooch, those people.
I hate it when I die when those giant balls fall out of the ship on top of my head. It's happened multiple times now.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Balls on the head is always a bad thing.
The basement says, so all you Destiny players, has the grind got boring yet? No.
Nope. Not at all.
I guarantee those people that called it slow and boring and stuff are the same people that I've talked to, that Aldea has talked to. And when you ask them, who'd you play it with? And they tell you, well, nobody. I
played it alone. Right.
What you mean, Fonz? What you talking about, man? The thing about it is that.
Thank you, Ken.
Probably the same person sits in front of the Sims 4 and fucking dresses up their character for hours on end.
By the way, I got to give a shout out to Luca because, and I'm going to put her on blast here a bit, because she didn't want to hear about Destiny. Every time I bring it up,
right.
Oh, here we go. And now she is playing Destiny, and she told me you were right. I was wrong. This game is awesome. So she's loving it. So
yeah,
guys out there that think that you may not like it, but you do like RPGs, you may just be surprised with Destiny. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and
don't base it on the first one either.
Yeah, and you don't need 6, 7, 8 people like other multiplayer games. Like, even let's say you're like, well, no, I'm a big Call of Duty person. Well, you have to have 6 people in your party to go play on multiplayer, this and that. You know what I mean? To play, team deathmatch or whatever. This game requires 3 people. It's yourself is 1 already. You need 2 people. You get 2 people, and they don't have to even be people you know. You get them. But the only thing I say is, I would say this. I would say remain constant through the beginning part, at least through the story, with the same 3, because you will develop this friendship in game and out of game. That's awesome, and it really like unifies you guys together. That's my own recommendation. I think once you get to a certain level, then it doesn't matter so much. Then we're all going to be mixing the pot and we're all going to be playing together, which is pretty much coming up this next week. But yeah, nonetheless, I think that there's a lot of people that they're intimidated by the game a little bit too, guys. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just because there is an intimidation factor of like time. Some people don't want to like commit that much time. That's where I stop talking people into it. When I know somebody plays a lot of games or this and that, they're like, dude, I don't have 20 hours a week to put into it to get started. Then maybe this game's not for you.
Do you know what I really like about it? Maybe you guys can identify whether this, when you're first going through the game and you're at low levels and you're just picking up your first 3 weapons and you're doing some missions, right? Yeah. And you're kind of like going through, and some of the bosses and some of the enemies, they take quite a few hits, and you feel kind of ordinary. But then once you start hitting a lot of levels and you go back and do some of the strikes and you do some of the missions kind of thing, and all of a sudden now you've got exotic weapons and some good armor, and then all of a sudden you go back and do the mission and you feel like a badass. You feel like a superhero, you know what I mean? You're going in and now all of a sudden you're just corking people and their heads are lighting up and steam is flying out, and you're just having a great time. It's really cool. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
No, I do. I do feel the same. I actually feel like what we did last night. I haven't completed the Nightfall yet. I'm hoping to do it tonight after the show. Is I like how you have to play the game. I don't know if you guys ever played Trials Fusion. I'll try and marry these 2 instances together for some people in the chat that can't envision this. Trials Fusion is that game on the dirt bike that you have to keep doing the same kind of jumps and whatever to get through this board. You have to beat it in a certain amount of time for a level, but whatever. The point is you have to learn the course. You have to learn the feel of the track and the way the bike rides on it to get used to it. We did that on the Nightfall last night. We went through, I think, a good 4 times, maybe 5. Now I can almost get through it blindfolded. I feel like, you know what I mean? You just learn it and then you learn it well. And that's what the game wants you to do. The game wants you to play the game and learn the weaknesses of the game. That's what you're learning. It's the same thing with Dark Souls. A lot of people are very, very intimidated with Dark Souls, but Dark Souls has such, it's not that hard. People are like, it's too hard. No, it's too hard in the beginning because you don't know what you're doing. But like once you get to learn the game is like, It's ultimately like it's a game. Even to play with your friend, you have to play the game to be able to play and bring a friend into it. You have to earn that right. You have to play to win the right to bring a friend into a game. I respect things like that. And that's what I like about Destiny, what Noof's talking about. You go in, you get your ass kicked a couple times. It's the Rocky Balboa syndrome, right? You get in the ring, you get knocked down, you get back up. You get knocked down, you get back up. Finally, you go back in the ring, you knock the dude out. It is what it is. And that is very rewarding in the Destiny family tree. I think that is something. You guys sense that? I pick it up, Noof.
I think that we're going to bore a lot of people, and that we're just so addicted to this game we can't stop talking about it. But people in the chat going, are they still talking about this?
It's a slow news week. Come on.
It is. It's a slow news week, and I put right in the forefront Destiny 2 Roundtable.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
podcast. But yeah, it's a phenomenon right now. And for people to say that it flopped, it's just ridiculous. Guys, and lots of people are going digital now, and all these sales digitally, it's not even being counted right now, and it's not flopping. There's people go to your friends.
It's not flopping.
No.
Playing it,
I mean, we still got Black Friday coming up. We still got the holiday season coming up. People are still going to be buying it.
There's people telling me I'm going to wait till the first DLC comes out. There's a lot of guys I know that are waiting for that DLC, and then they're going to buy the game so they can have more to play. So there's a lot of those people out there.
That's interesting.
So,
I mean, if they're willing to put the commitment time into it, Fonz, and there's one or two. If two of my best friends said to me, listen, wait for the DLC to drop, and then the three of us will just attack this shit and we'll get there, why not?
I couldn't wait.
Well, no, I understand that. But I'm saying, Fonz, let's say instead of like you rotating through the community like we're all doing and enjoying time with a lot of people, let's say you were like, no, you don't understand, Mooch. Me and my two buddies that I work with, this is what we do. And you would wait. I mean, that'd be cool. It'd still be fun as hell.
You know what I would do? I would secretly be playing and just start a new character.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I knew it. I'm like, he would be playing anyways and then start a new character when they got the DLC.
How do you know how to do this? I don't know. I'm just good.
I read a lot about it. It was, it was in Game Informer last month. What do you mean?
There's all kinds of Destiny videos going on right now on YouTube. I mean, there's videos for literally everything in Destiny 2 right now. Like,
yeah, there is.
It's crazy, like the stuff that's already found out and what they're doing. Like, how did they figure out all this stuff with the Rat King gun and stuff? It blows my mind what people figure out in new games.
It does kill me, you know what I mean? And listen, I don't know about you guys, but see, since we all started playing games so young, we've been playing them since way before what the hell is out now. Like, do you remember when we were kids, you got the game, you popped it in your Genesis, your Nintendo, and like you're playing it and like you didn't know shit. You know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong, it's only a 2D scroller, but there was hidden shit and this and that, blah, blah, all over the place. And you just played that game till your fingers bled. And you taught yourself everything. I remember being like, no. You got to jump on that thing 3 times, then hop over there. And you say it out to your friends. You just figured shit out. And now, like you said, 24 hours, 48 hours after something comes out, it's like a Destiny Raid Leviathan in full 1080p glory. And you're like, wow, I can watch the entire thing like it's a movie. Yep. And like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I will say this much. There's certain people that are like, screw that. I'm not using that. I want to go through it on my own. A lot of people wrote me in the clan today that were saying in the Mooch Maniacs clan on Destiny 2. They're like, Mooch, you think you're going to get some like help on this raid through video? Or are you going to do this like, just blindly go through it? I'm like, I think it's going to be 50-50, right? I mean, because I do want to experience it on my own. I like that. I really like the challenge. But I think if we're doing something for 40 minutes and we're all like, this isn't working, I think we should go to the videotape.
Yeah, because the first world clear was 6 hours.
Right.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Well, and those guys are professional.
Yeah, the professional Destiny players. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I heard longer, and I don't want to quote it, but I thought Destin Legary came out and said that the first one was beat in 12 hours, and then it was done again in 6.
Oh, maybe so. Yeah.
Well, regardless,
that's still fucking crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, it's still crazy. I'm not going to even argue that. Let's just stick with 6.
Is it any different than World of Warcraft? I mean, people did the same.
No.
No. World of Warcraft, you have 25-man raids. You know
I've played I played that game years ago, and I'm telling you, it's just the same thing. It's that addictive property that they have. That whole loot grind system. It's addicting.
It's a Skinner tactic, man.
It's just crazy.
Now, let me ask you a question, though. So since you're saying that's addictive and things like that, and I'm on board with that, Fonz. Here's the thing, guys, and this is the entire panel. The only thing I would like to see Destiny do is I'd like to see them come out with more rare, exotic things. So, like, let's just talk facts here for a minute. I've got like 35, 36 hours into Destiny. Fonz has got 63, he said, or 65. and Boom's got 86. Okay, now these guys have gone through and killed it. They're killing it. Okay, they're doing their thing. There shouldn't be at this level. At this level, I should not jump into Fonz's game and Boom's game and have the same equipment as them. They should have more shit than me, a lot more shit. That's the only thing where I would say I see sometimes Destiny plateaus a little bit. Do you guys see that, or do you think that they will break away this time and they'll make it not just light level, but they'll make it so like you really have to do some crazy shit to get gear?
I don't know. Did you guys hear about the clan system and how the other clan members that don't raid will get the loot? It'll drop at like 10 power or whatever.
No. What they're getting is the powerful engrams.
Okay.
Right.
And that's fine. That's just
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, you're not going to get the loot from the raid. The loot from the raid is separate, and that's the gear you want, man.
Right, that's the one you want. That's why you aspire to reach for that. I do encourage. Like, I do think that they're making an effort. At first, listen, I went. Shout out to Saji again. Saji's like, Mooch, you really should make a clan. And we went. I went a long time. I think clans became active earlier this week or last Friday.
Yeah,
it wasn't at launch. Yeah, it was later. And I said, you know what? I'll wait. Let me see if this thing actually. I wanted to see if people. You remember Clubs on Xbox Live? Clubs is going to be great. And I was the first one. I was like, it's not going to be great. It's going to be terrible. Not to say people aren't in clubs and we don't have them, but I'm not taking time to go into the clubs all the time. This clan thing, you kidding me? I think in the Mooch Maniacs clan for Destiny 2, there's more chat going on in that clan than Twitter. It is wild right now. People are having fun. They're like, people are looking for people for playing, and they're giving hints where needed. It's a great clan. Little selfless plug there, guys. But definitely, I put in the description down below. I put the link if you want to join the clan. All are welcome.
Sir Taz said yes. They get the rate loot drops at 10. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So wait, what is it? Explain it to me.
So from you say other people like raid weekly or daily, however they want to raid. Well, I think it's once a week, right?
Right.
So I guess it unlocks engrams you can decrypt for the rest of the clan members that's in the clan.
Yeah, but we don't get the raid loot.
They turn in the engram to the raid guy, right? I mean, the guy because in the raid you get the engrams and you turn them into that special dude right?
Yeah.
To get the raid loot, right? That's what
you got to decrypt it, and it gives you whatever it is, or a new.
I thought in the raid when you got it automatically was
basically what I'm saying is the people that don't play the raid can still get raid gear, but it might take you 11 or 12 weeks to get a one piece. Yeah, but
I got you. So
why would it take 11 or 12 weeks?
It won't take that long when you have so many people in your clan like you do, Mooch. You'll be getting that tonight,
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say, you'll be getting I don't necessarily think that that's great, but I mean,
no, I don't think that's great at all. I don't like that if that's the truth, because
you guys are all friends. I mean, some people might not have time to raid, and it's not like they're getting more stuff than you. You know what I mean? It'll take them months to get the full set, and they still have to.
They're just gonna get we're gonna get so wait, the people who go through the raid will end up getting 2 or 3 pieces, and this raid clan folks will get one possibly.
Right.
1 a week,
possibly.
Possibly too, because I bet you. Listen, you know what? The one thing that we don't know behind the scenes here, guys, is they may get the raid. What is it there? The encryptor thing there, but there might be a decrease in percentage of chances of getting something that's actually raid loot. They might get, you know what I mean? They might just get a cool, I don't know, emblem or a cool shader or something crazy or something high powered legendary or something. I don't know.
We'll have to do some research.
I need to create a Smurf account and join the Maniacs.
Right.
So I get some gear.
A Smurf account. That's great. Yes. No, I do agree with that. No, guys, a couple more subjects I want to touch on before we all get back to Destiny. Right? That's what real quick, and shout out to a few people that did videos on this, but the recording ability, the capability to capture on the Xbox One is going up tremendously. And I think a lot of people that are either fans of YouTube channels or people that do YouTube, like everyone on the panel right here, what do you guys think about this now? You'll be able to stream the Xbox One original and S at 1080p 30, and we all know that the X is going to be able to capture at 4K 60. That's kind of a big deal. The PS4 currently is doing 720p. This isn't a look what we got thing, but it does make a difference when you're watching video, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I made a video today using footage from the Xbox, and it looks terrible compared to, some of the stuff I've taken from the PlayStation side. And I'm not just bashing. It's just, it is what it is. It's the compression that they're using, or currently, hopefully, what they're saying is it's going to be fixed. You're going to have better compression, and it's going to
it's going to be better compression. It's going to be better. I mean, the resolution is going to be up. I mean, Digital Foundry's even saying it's a big deal. So it looks, I think what Microsoft's trying to do is they're trying to get the content creators to use their box for all their videos. You know what I mean? Now you have the better looking game, and you're going to have the better looking capture.
Yeah, because it's sad. Like, you'll record some game footage and you look at it back, and it just doesn't come out right. You're like, well, it looks kind of blurry,
Yeah. I think that was something that I think Microsoft really underestimated that was going to pick. I mean, listen, everything you do is a gamble. I said this earlier in the show, right? Microsoft in 2013 put their money in the fact that they thought that TV integration with games, they thought that TV shows, like the Halo the series and things like that, and the Gears series they had planned and all that other stuff they were going to bring. They were going to do like their own Netflix where they had their own channel. They thought all of that was going to be big. That didn't end up panning out. I think it would have if the media didn't choke them out with their foot on their throat. But Sony took a different course. Sony decided to put an actual hardware share button on their controller. They decided to make that their share factory be much easier and look better as an end product. And that's what ended up being the claim to fame this generation. So, I mean, I do agree with you. I mean, that's something that Sony took a risk on and they won. I remember listening to an analyst before the PS4 and the Xbox One came out this generation, and somebody said that they thought it was a bad move to put a share button on the controller because they said in the event that people don't care what other people are taking selfies of, that's a piece of hardware on the controller that they can never change, where Microsoft decided to go the software approach with it. Hindsight 2020 or Monday Morning Quarterback, we see that Sony's share button was such a hit that Nintendo Switch decided to even put a share button on their Switch. So you can see that they were really onto something there. I was actually shocked. I was a little taken back. I thought when the Xbox One X came out, since they could have done it, that all new controllers starting this November on would have had an extra button on it for share. I thought they would have just put that in the box. You might go, well, Mooch, that's not fair. It's very fair. Okay,
Mooch,
it's very fair.
You know what they'll do? They'll put out another controller with that share button on it.
You already listen. They got a different sherbet colored controller every week. So the fuck's the difference at this point? Give me a share button.
Legitimately, it's 2 button presses. Press, select. You know what I mean? It's
you know what, Noof, look, there's nobody here. There's probably I'm the Johnny Cochran of defense lawyers for Xbox, but let me tell you something. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't agree with that, because here I am. We're all goofing around playing Destiny, and I'm trying to take a goddamn shot of everybody on the screen, and to have to hit the home button, and it takes you out of screen, and then you press the button and you don't even know what the fuck you took a picture of unless you leave the entire game. Like, that's a pain in the balls. You hit the share button on PlayStation, it shoots it right there. Yeah. And then instantly, if you want, you can set it up so it shows you the picture.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take you out of game.
And not only that, to do it every 5 minutes when you're taking video clips and everything, it's just
but you also forget. See, the initial plan with Xbox was to use the Kinect for all that stuff and just say Xbox capture, and then nobody really adopted the Kinect or used the features, and there you go. So that was kind of the
well said.
That's where it went wrong.
Well said.
Here's the thing with that Kinect, though. You're talking to your TV. What if you have a bunch of kids in your house, like I do, and they're running around talking? That Xbox is not going to hear just you. They're going to hear the kids talk too. Hey, Xbox, and then my kid's going to yell something else, like off or something, and it'll turn off.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing. I mean, and it's funny because the one thing I will say is, and that's a catch-22, guys, because Fonz, you made a good point, but Noof makes a good point. Here's the thing. Microsoft gets bashed for everything, right? So you're right. I mean, that could happen, but nobody says that there's a problem with how come that instance never takes place with that Alexa, right? Alexa, can you tell me when my birthday is? Sure. What the fuck? What? Why are you asking her what the fuck your birthday? Everything's that Alexa, the Google thing, and that's not a problem. Like, they even show an instance where they have 150 people at a birthday party, and they're like, everybody quiet. Alexa, shut the lights off. No problem. And it's like, wait, that's not a problem. But then saying Xbox and then a command, everybody was like, that'll never work. So, I mean, it's funny. Like, people just don't complain unless it's Microsoft, it seems.
Well, in in all fairness, though, Mooch, when Assassin and I used to use the Xbox Connect, the Xbox One Connect to record stuff, because we did a lot for four guys, it would freeze sometimes because it would take a couple seconds for the command to go through, and it would freeze a little bit, and it kind of got a little bit annoying. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't always work out for everybody in that instance.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Look, a Connect was not perfect. I actually personally, man, I just said it the other night. I said, why do I even have my Connect plugged in? The only thing I use it for now is facial recognition to sign in, and then after that, I don't use any verbal commands at all. So
I mean,
Connect is dead. Phil made sure that when he got in there, the minute he pulled it out of the box, you knew it was dead.
But now we know the Connect idea is going to succeed with Apple's phone, right? So
no,
just moving on.
Implemented there is even just silly. It's gimmicky. It's still a gimmick. It's nothing big. I don't think it'll take off even for Apple. It's not going to take off.
No, not Apple either. I mean, I will say this much though. Ironic as you bring that up. There's times someone will be like we were talking the other day in the house when football was on. Somebody said something by accident. It was a Freudian slip. And someone's like, "Is that John Madden?" I'm like, "That's not John Madden." I'm like, "John Madden's like 80 something," and they're like, "John Madden's not 80 something." And I just, I hit the button. I'm like, "Siri, how old is John Madden?" And I was like, John Madden is 82. I was like, "Yeah, I knew I was right." But my point is like, it's just like there's times voice commands come in handy. But even a lot of our cars now, you can press a certain button in your car and you can do like a voice command for phone or whatever. I'm still going and using the buttons. I'm not even using the voice command.
Yep.
Yep. So I agree with you.
Yeah, voice commands just don't work in my household anyway. I couldn't be yelling at a Connect from across the room with all my damn kids. It ain't happening. So that's why I don't own an Alexa. I don't own a Connect. I waited till the Connect was out of the box before I bought the Xbox One. So because I knew it was going to go. Even though they were saying it was never going to go anywhere, I was telling people it's going to go. It's going to go. 6 months later, it was gone. And I was like,
I mean, I'll be honest. And you know what? That's something where you got me beat there. I really thought, to be honest with you, I thought it had legs. I said, you know what? This is something that's going to go somewhere. We're all, like you said, Siri, right? Siri was getting some. And I got to whisper it because someone in the chat said that every time I screamed Alexa, I set off his Alexa.
But it wasn't necessarily the technology that I thought was going to be gone. It was the price. It was because I knew that was costing us another $100 there. And I said, you know what? The sales are not there. They're going to end up getting rid of that. That's why I thought they were going to get rid of that for some.
So you're saying the extra $100 for the X isn't a problem because we're getting the power? You're okay with that extra $100?
I
am. But I'm asking. Maybe it was rhetorical to the panel.
Of course, like it's power. I am a guy who likes the most powerful stuff. I have to have it. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
right.
That's just
Noof. Go ahead.
Now, here's two major problems with the Connect, and I wanted to chime into this earlier when we were talking about that whole launch ordeal. Here's the thing: Connect would have done better if the original Connect had done better. You know what I mean? Like, it left a sour taste in a lot of fans' mouths because the original Connect never did live up to its expectations. I don't think a lot of people knew what the newer version of the Connect could actually do, and Microsoft did not do a very good job of conveying it because they didn't come out with one piece of software that made people stand up and go, shit, I need a Connect for that. We all know that if you're going to sell a game system or you're going to sell a peripheral, and peripheral is more important, you got to have a must-buy app or a game that makes people say, holy crap. And Connect had the potential, but it just never lived up to the hype. And that was what happened. And basically people looked at it as just another $100 extra thing in the box. So I think if the first Connect had have done what they said it was going to do, and it wasn't just a gimmick for your kids and your family to play whack-a-mole or whatever the hell games were going on it probably would have resonated much better when they did launch it. Again, that's what happened there. And like I said, Connect's a cool little device, but it's a little too late now. Like I said, once it came out of the box, that was the old your time of life is freaking done here. And because I remember the original Connect, and you guys probably remember that Project Milo. Now, as creepy as that little demo was, that showed a shitload of potential for the device. But if that thing had came out, it would have been something amazing, but it didn't, and that's where they fell through. So too bad.
Instead, they were pushing petting animals and stuff, and that's what an iPhone is doing now too with the iPhone 10. You have they're using these animal skins on your face, and when you talk, their lips move, and it's like, who cares? Who cares?
Well, you know what, though, Fonz, and that's something that, as much as I'm an Apple nut, I will say as much, that doesn't interest me. But let me tell you something. The reason the iPhone is so popular is it is very popular with the female demographic, right? The female demographic loves the iPhone. And listen, when you have that group, you are totally winning you're winning the money pot, because the girls definitely, when a woman says, if you're married and she's like, this is the phone I want, like, you can go ahead and say, oh, I'm going to go get my Android. All right, fine. Good luck. Enjoy that. But you want to have the ecosystem in the house, and that's what she wants. Most men will conform and they'll go and get the iPhone because they're like, you know what, dude, honestly, I don't really care, and I'm going to get the phone that my wife and my kids have. And the kids pretty much like having the iPad, iPhone, et cetera, et cetera. That right there, using that technology and that little thing that they have with the face recognition, that's huge with the kids and the younger generation. I mean, you have to admit they are going to use the shit out of that. Yeah. Now, you see all these people on Twitter, like the people post the pictures and they have the ears on their head and whatever they're putting like AR on their face. The fact that they showed that on screen with that guy and he went to Snapchat and put one of those masks on his face, like, I think all of that's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous nonsense. Okay, but it looked good. It actually stuck to his face. It's not like these things we have now where when someone's like, hey, check it out, I got these fucking dog ears on, and they're moving their head and the ears are following them like 4 seconds later. This shit stuck to his face. So, I mean, in all honesty, here's what I'm going to say. Corny, not corny. I'll use it. I'll never use it. If the technology really works well, I still take my hat off to you because the technology is getting better. And that's why when I saw that, I was like, that's corny. Then I saw the guy do it, and I was like, holy shit, it actually works. Like, everything else we've been using has been a gimmick.
Yeah. So, see, that's just it. The things like apps and augmented reality and all these things can work well for a phone simply because a phone is almost a necessity. It's a device that just about everybody in the world now has. It's in your pocket. It's convenient. It's like it's the all-in-one device. It's for calling. It's texting. It's doing apps. It's doing pictures. It's doing video. You know what I mean? If somebody told you, yeah, you need to buy the new iPhone, but in order to do some of the things they said it's going to do, you got to buy another expensive app that connects to some port on the side and you have to drag it around. Well, it would basically make that a contraption that's just too heavy and inconvenient. It's kind of like the Switch right now. You know what I mean? Like, why is it so difficult to give the Switch like a decent communication system where you just plug in a microphone and play online? But no, they got to have, some kind of squid-looking dongle that goes through a phone, that goes through something else. Like, who in the hell wants to bring 20 devices with them when they want to play an online game on the Switch?
It comes down to this. The iPhone 10 is sexy as hell, but it comes down to, do I want the iPhone X or the Xbox One X? I'll get more out of the Xbox One X.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've come on.
Wait, what was the comparison, Fonz?
The iPhone 10. And,
it's two different. That's two different things. You know what I mean? That's like, do I really want fruit in the house this week or do I want steak? Well, I mean, of course I want steak, but I wouldn't mind having some fruit after lunch. You know what I mean? Like, the point of the matter is this. I think that.
Because what I'm making the comparison for is because it comes down to money. And then when I'm going to spend my hard-earned dollar, and I don't, do I want to buy both and not eat, or do I want to buy one? And which one am I going to be?
Okay, well, yes, but see, the problem is, and I don't like the way that this has been represented in the news the past week, is people like $999, never. Well, wait. Who the fuck is paying $999? Who's walking into Apple with $1,000, slapping it on the counter and walking out? Nobody.
Justin Bieber.
It's a monthly fee. It's going to get tacked onto your monthly fee like everything else. You know what I mean? What if I told you guys right now, okay, everyone that has cable, if you have cable and internet, I'm going to be just really, really like random, okay? $100. You're paying more than $100 a month. But if someone was like, yo, man, we all complain about cable bill, right? We're like, God damn. Internet and cable cost me $150. Like, we say that and we're like, but then you shrug your shoulder and you're like, hey, any more coffee in the pot? And everybody moves on to the next conversation. Nobody's like, fucking A, man. It's January. I got to walk over to fucking Spectrum or Verizon Files. I got to go give them $1,200. Why do you give them $1,200? I'm paying them the whole year up front. What? No. My point is it's $9.99, but you're paying it in $35, $34 increments monthly. So can you do that and buy an Xbox One X? The answer is, of course you can do that. Like, it's not that this is one of the cases you can eat your cake and eat it, or have your cake and eat it too, because the fact of the matter is that your phone is more important than your car. You know what I mean? Like we all use our phones for everything, business, social, entertainment.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm looking at it from the point of view that I already have a phone and it works damn good. I don't need that new phone.
That's true. But when did you get your phone though, Fonz?
20. Well, it's the iPhone 6S. So
I have the 6.
It's the 6S Plus. So that's what I have.
Didn't even get the S. So I hear you. I waited. When I saw the 7, I said, listen, I've always been a fan of getting the new model design, the new body style. When I saw that the 7 was the same thing I had, it was basically the 6S Plus with, I don't know, they just changed the number. So I was like, all right, no, I'll wait. It killed me to wait. You have no idea.
Like, we do pay, in incremental payments for these phones.
Right. So it's not like it's out of reach for anybody.
But mine has been paid off, and I like that price. Okay, that I'm paying now. So that's why I'm going for that. I'm going to stick to what I'm paying now, and I'm going to get the X. And I know it's not, you got to get the X. This is not even a debate or question.
No. I hear you.
Because for me personally, I'm talking about money this year because, personal stuff. But anyway, I just got to look at it realistically. And for me, I got to get the
absolutely. X. And let me tell you something. I'll tell you right now, Fonz, you're never going to have someone like me come up and be like, no, you need both. You definitely don't. Look at me. I mean, you both have iPhone 6s, right? You have an S, I have a 6. My point is that like, I was jonesing for the 7 and I put myself off another year and then my phone's 3 years old now. I'm like, dude, I'm getting a phone because here's the thing. My mute vibrate button, that shit's that's basically a prop now. Okay. So it just goes like I'll have it on mute and in the middle of a meeting it just goes off. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I got a 6, and it's like, well, they don't give a shit. So like it's time for me to upgrade the damn phone. I mean, the thing about it is I've always said this, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to different things in life, when people are talking about dollar, you have to look at how far your dollar stretches out and what you're getting for your buck. And for me personally, if you do the breakdown for monthly costs, it's the same as buying it outright. So there's no real difference in paying it monthly or going in there and slapping $1,000 on the counter. But I use my phone more than I use my car. And that's not even a moochism or a joke. It's just the truth.
I think most people do nowadays.
Right. We all do, right? I mean, I have my PC right in front of me. I have my Mac right in front of me. I've got the world at my fingertips. And I'm still tweeting on my phone.
Let me ask you. It's sad, but I'm pretty sure I use my penis more than my phone, or my phone more than my penis.
No. That was a great way to.
Well, let me ask.
Go ahead.
Are you sitting? So when you're watching TV, are you sitting with your phone in your hand, and when the commercial comes on, you're on your phone?
I'm usually on the phone. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people. So I mean, it is what it is. That is our it's another extension of us. It's part now. And
don't you feel crazy like when your aunts and uncles come over, like they're older, right? And they even have an iPhone or an Android, but they don't use it. Like they'll be like, oh, I got an iPhone. And it's in their car, or they're like, I left it home, or it's if it's your aunt, she left it in her purse.
It's in the box that came in.
It's still in the box with the receipt taped to it. I mean,
right?
You know what I mean? You're right all day. Like that's the way they are. But like me, I remember one time, like Fonz, great example. We're sitting there watching football. Uncle's over. We're chilling. We're just watching the game. And I pick up the phone every break, but I'm checking my fantasy leagues. You know what I mean? I'm checking to see my score. I'm like, oh, I hope somebody did something over in fucking Washington. Please, God, let somebody score a touchdown. He's like, you going to pick that thing up every 5 minutes? I'm like, probably. And he was like, oh. He's like,
they get insulted.
He was expecting me to say no. And I'm like, it's not that I don't. Believe me, I'm talking to you while I'm doing it. I can do like 8 things while I'm handling this thing. But I mean, yeah, that is it's a sad truth, or is it just the truth? It is what it is, but that's why when someone's like, Mooch, you're really going to take the dive and get the iPhone X? Yeah, I don't see why that's so unbelievable. I mean, it's not that crazy, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I can go out tomorrow and go get a flip phone, but let's be honest. We're not using these things for phones. I make I use it for everything almost but a phone call. The phone call is almost like, it's a couple business things here and there that are on the phone, but even people text you now. Like you have a plumber come to your house and he's like, I got to come finish this thing next week. You're like, all right, cool. He's like, I'll text you. Yeah. You know what because the plumber doesn't want to talk to you.
Aside from, video editing on my computer, I don't use my computer much at all. I use
it's me either. Literally, I'm rocking. I mean, it's a little old now, but I have an Alienware gaming PC. I barely use it, dude. Phone is I use for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
it sucks for like some of my friends in college that took up graphic design and photography school and all this type of stuff, video editing, and dude, the phone is just eating up all that market share, man.
Yeah.
You can do everything that
you can
just
do everything on your phone.
You can do on your phone. Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
Right. It sucks, but I mean, it's just technology, man. You can't stop it.
No, and I mean, look, the problem is now is even when you come out with something great or something fun, and you do a huge presentation, doesn't matter if it's E3. The minute E3 is done, whether it's Sony or Microsoft or Apple does their WWDC or anything that comes out, like the internet is immediately like, that's why I kind of point out terrible Tom, hashtag terrible Tom over at The Verge. The iPhone event didn't even start yet, and he's sitting there on Twitter being like, a picture of Steve Jobs here in the Steve Jobs Theater. No shit, asshole. You know what I mean? Like, terrible Tom's got to already come out with something. These guys, the media is just a bunch of they're like, you guys remember when we were in high school? The kids that sat way back in the theater and we had like a show or something to go to, which almost never happened. And they were just snickering and laughing at everything on stage and nothing even happened yet. The teacher's like, can you please quiet down in the back? Could you please quiet down in the back? That's the media now. The media is a bunch of terrible Toms that are just sitting in the back. They're making fun of everything. So Apple comes out with stuff that they show you shit. When Windows did their big presentation with the Surface stuff that came out last year, there was a bunch of shit, people making fun of that. And it's like, man, it's like all we ever do on the internet is make fun of shit. You know what I mean? Nobody actually is like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. Or that was done 6 years ago by a guy named Steve. And it's like, who gives a shit? Steve didn't do it right, apparently.
Yeah, it's about negativity now with the media.
Yeah.
Anything. It doesn't matter what it is. They always look for the negative scoop. Everything is about what's at fault with this.
Right.
What's at fault with that story? We have to find the fault in everything, guys.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is people love drama and drama sells. So anything negative always turns into a buck.
It is, it is clowns, and it all started with like reality TV. Look at TV nowadays. Even if you ask people what they watch, look at the top shows. People are watching the Cooking Network. People are watching HGTV. People are watching The Bachelorette. People are just watching other people walk around. Hey, did you watch last night's cooking channel? No, what happened? People ate. No way. Like what? Like everything's crazy right now. All we ever care about, like when we pick up our phones, it's social media. It's even fantasy football. Which, by the way, I never understood. Little sidebar here. People are like, boy, fantasy football is really dorky. When the fuck did football become dorky? I don't know. Did I go into a fucking coma and wake up
what's
yesterday?
wrong with Dungeons and Dragons in jerseys? I don't get it.
I guess you could look at it that way. I look at it as you go in with your buddies, you drink a lot at a draft, you pick a team, you go home, you pay attention to it, and actually, if you pay attention the right way, you actually win a huge jackpot of cash. I don't know if Dungeons and Dragons was never any of that shit, but it's I don't know myself personally. I don't know, for some reason, be like that's dorky. I'm like dorky. Is collecting baseball cards when we were kids collecting baseball cards was that dorky or basketball cards? No, but so everybody did. What's that?
You could do nothing with those fucking cards.
No, we couldn't do shit with them. I remember being like, hey, do you want to trade this? And one of my buddies was like, I'm not trading you that. I'm like, what the fuck are we getting these for? You know what I mean? I'm like, if you don't want them, no, I don't want them. What the fuck?
Just fucking toss them in there. Fuck it.
That's so great.
You stick them in the spokes of your bike wheels. That's what happens.
Well, listen, YouTube's been great. YouTube doesn't tell me anymore on mine. You guys can see it. I have no idea I think we're right around the 2-hour mark. I like to keep these at 2 hours or a little less because everybody's got gaming. It's Friday night. People have families. Let me go through and do the outros. I want to thank everybody, first of all, and I want to say a shout out. I don't know if Crap's going to get a chance to hear this or he's listening live. We miss you, buddy. We can't wait to have you back on Sunday on MNC. Hopefully you're there. If not, we know we're going to have you back for Xbox Nation next week. So shout out to you, Crap. Hope all is well. We'll see you soon. Let's start with our first guy here. I got my buddy. I usually go from left to right on my screen all day. All day. It was awesome hanging out with you last night, buddy. Hopefully we get a chance to bullshit tonight, too, on Xbox Live. All day. We left all day. See you all day. Bye. Clowns. I'm going to switch it over to you. I think even though you're still in hurricane land, all day is getting all day's back.
He's coming back.
The ghost of all day.
I thought it was all night there for a second.
I thought it was all night.
Yeah, man, it was a good show, man. Love that Destiny talk, man.
Yes, sir.
It's good. It's good, man. Thanks for having me on, and we'll probably play the raid tomorrow. Hopefully.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're doing that. We are doing that. I'll talk to you offline about that. But the raid goes down tomorrow, brother. You're there.
Yeah, stream it. Stream the chaos, man.
You don't want it. Nobody wants to watch 6.5 hours of fucking.
Fuck, shit, fuck.
What the hell is this? Why did I buy this? Yeah. So,
Yeah, you guys can follow me at allday_digital on Twitter, and see you guys next week. Hopefully.
Yo, follow all day, man. Funniest dude on YouTube for real. Clowns, my buddy, my paisano. How's things in Florida? I see you held up through the storm, so thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, sorry about the little times of absences. We heat evacuated to my mom's, and she came barging in, so I apologize for that. You know how Italian moms are, right? So
I sure do.
Yeah. So it was always a pleasure being here, man. I always love the cast on the panel. Everybody's great. It's just a lot of fun, man. Listen to everybody and Fonz talk about how much he loves Destiny, and I just miss playing it, Mooch, because I had no electricity at home. I'm light level 193, so I won't get to raid with.
Did you bring your Xbox to your parents in the
No,
Saudi?
No.
Oh, you should have done it. You should have done it, clowns. You got to impose sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
It is what it is. But thanks for being here tonight, brother. And then next but not least, my boy Fonz. Yo, Fonz, thanks for chiming in tonight and coming on CrossFire. I always do something different. CrossFire is one of the only channels where I have my usual suspects, but I have a large group of them. And because, life and shit happens, sometimes some can make it, some can't. But I always try to bring 2 or 3 guests on, and I think you were an all-star tonight, bro. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Anytime, man. It's been great, and it's been great to meet Clowns and Boomstick here, and Noof.
An absolute pleasure, bro.
I don't know if I've been on a podcast with Noof before, but I have talked to him on Party Chat, so that's cool. But yeah, it's been fun, and thanks for everybody showing up and watching, and everybody listening late. So
yeah, definitely kept everybody here a little bit longer. Crossfire is normally known for that. So
also, I will promote GRG podcast every Tuesday night. You can get us at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Dealer Gaming's channel. So you can catch me there and all day as well. And also, you can get me on YouTube at Everything According to Me. I have a YouTube channel. Check it out.
Nice. Definitely check that out, Fonz. I will. And I will check out your review, actually, after the show. I purposefully didn't watch it because I wanted to hear – I didn't want to get your perspective before I got a chance to hang out with you. Yeah. So very cool. I definitely recommend everyone check out the Fonz. Awesome guy. Very, very well-versed in gaming. The man, the guy who's known as Boombastic only on this show. Boom, thanks for being here tonight. And I'm sure you are already probably playing Destiny with your feet at this point. What's going on?
Well, listen, it's awesome to be here. Great cast as usual. I couldn't imagine spending Friday night without you guys. You can get me on Twitter at Mr. Boomstick XL, and you can now find me at Consoles Casuals on Wednesdays with Mel and Xbot. I'm now part of the cast, so that's on at 10:30 in the morning on YouTube. And looking forward to playing some more Destiny with you guys.
Nice, buddy. Nice. And Noof, let me tell you something, buddy. Really appreciate you coming on and late last minute too. But you're a true friend. And one of the original Mooch Maniacs is Noof Nukem, by the way. I was talking to Noof when I just got started in the YouTube. So Noof, thanks for coming on tonight. And where can everybody find you?
Well, Noof had to step out because Noof has gone to play with his phone, apparently. So I'm going to step in here and close out the show. First off, I want to say all day, Clowns, Fonzarelli, Mr. Boomstick, and most importantly, you, Mooch. Thanks for having us here. It's always a great time to be on the podcast. It's how we roll. Arnold in the house. Make sure you check out Crossfire each and every Friday. And also, make sure you catch MSC Morning on Sunday. It's the best way to wake up in the morning with a hot coffee and awesome show. It's great. And crap, we miss you here. We hope that you get back soon. Yes, it's good. Let's go. Everybody get on the Destiny now.
Nice. Thanks. Always good to have the great Arnold Schwarzenegger on the show. Appreciate it, buddy. And shout out to Luca, too, because Luca has been totally promoting the Mooch Maniacs clan. Check it out again. It is in the description. Shout out to my girl, Luca. She's the female Mooch. She knows what she's doing. If she can do it and enjoy it, everybody can because she knows what she's talking about. I appreciate it. Fonz, thanks again, everybody. And we'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And MNC Morning, Sunday, 11 o'clock, my channel. Hope and Crap's back. Have a good night.